Jesus Christ, I can't get onto anything. Internet is maxing out. Hello, Reggie. Give me a second. Just really quick. This just happened quickly because let me see here if I can do this. All right. All right. So, what's happening in Thailand? Let me wait for a few minutes. Let some people come in here. I don't know how good this internet is gonna, how long it'll hold up, or what's going on, but there is a lot happening. Let me see. Yeah, this page didn't open up. Yeah, a lot of pages not opening because the internet is just maxed out right now, which was this is something a lot of people were concerned with in the United States, but I haven't heard anybody say it over here. But if you know anything about Thailand, I'd be concerned, and I am concerned we won't have any internet, which means a lack of communication. Uh, yeah, it's a very difficult situation. The minute, let me see if I can get this here. The moment that, yeah, see, I'm completely lost right now. Give me a sec. Maybe this is it. The moment that they declared that, yeah, okay, I'm back on here. All right. The moment that they declared they were closing the shopping malls, uh, people started heading towards the grocery, panic buying. Now, we only needed a few things. Now, we can use more for the long term, but we didn't want to rush out. Neither my wife or I wanted to rush out. She prefers to go out instead of me because she knows I'm older. She thinks I'm at a greater risk, but the malls are closing tomorrow. There's approximately 500,000 or more tourists stranded inside of Thailand. They can't get out. They can't fly out. They can't get visas to get in the surrounding countries. And now, at least in my house, we're having problems connecting to the internet to various sites. Now, YouTube seems to be okay. Uh, I just did. I was able to connect here. Let me see. No. Okay, the world meters site that you connect to see. I've been connecting to see what the virus status is down. I can't connect to it. So I suspect that there's so many people trying to use the internet and connected to different sites that a lot of them are having problems. I tried calling my parents. I called about what is it? About an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours ago. I don't know if it was because nobody was awake, or the call didn't go through. But the next, about an hour later, I tried to call, and the internet didn't allow me to connect to Magic Jack, which is what I use. It's an app, and then I tried to go to their website, can't connect. So I don't know if too many people are trying to use certain sites, or there's certain sites in America that are down, or that they're having problems connecting through a certain area or whatever, but the internet is not working very well for me. I don't know if it's true. I can't even check the speed because the speed test is not working. Let's see here. Yeah, the speedtest.net, failing to open. Let's see here. And like I said, there's a lot of people here that are stranded, and the mad rush for for groceries, for food, water, it's on. Now it's on. My wife, well, we received water today. We got plenty of water. We've got a fair amount of food, enough for 3, 4 weeks, but we need more. But we're not running out right away. But we did need a few things. And my wife was able to get some oatmeal and some basic things. It was pretty easy for her to get those. But she couldn't even get inside the mall. There were so many people. It was very difficult. She had to wait to try to get in. Finally, she got in, and then there were no carts. The place is just a madhouse. So she went, you know what? I'm gonna try to go somewhere else late at night. And I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's on here. You know, it's on, and things are gonna get worse before they get better. I just saw something that said approximately 7,000 people could die here. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Let me see here. Doctors estimate 7,000 deaths if lockdown is not opposed. Coronavirus infections could surge to as many as 350,000 if lockdown measure is not implemented. Okay. Doctors fear at least 7,000 people could die from the virus unless extensive quarantines are in place. The doctors who work for the Ministry of Health and University hospitals also estimated that more than 52,000 people could up in hospital under this worst. I think it's 52,000 or more people could end up in the hospital under this worst case scenario, and at least 17,000 of them would be in critical condition. So, I am still very concerned. I've been concerned for the past few days, but I'm a little more concerned. Now I'm a little more concerned. People are worried about their visas and everything, but I do think that what they're going to do, at least relatively quickly, is issue 30-day extensions. I think that some regions have already stated this, but I believe that that's going to be nationwide. Anybody who's stuck here, they're not going to get stuck with visa fees. Now, one thing that I did see earlier, let me see if I can find it here in my notes. At the moment, there are an estimated 500,000 plus tourists stranded in Thailand. Chances are you aren't getting in and you aren't getting out. And while, I feel for the people that are stuck here, I definitely do. There's not much they can do. Just hang tight. But Tourism and Sports Minister Pipat Ratchakitprakan says they are seeking a reprieve for some of the estimated 500,000 tourists who will, at no fault of their own, end up overstaying their tourist visa. He says that a request for temporary clemency is for humanitarian purposes. All right, well, now that sounds great, right? The only thing is, longtime guests can also help keep local businesses running during this tough time. So what I'm wondering is, what about all the people that don't have the money to continue to stay for months? You got backpackers, you got, everyday people. They got a couple grand in the bank or whatever. Even 10 grand if this goes on for 3 months, which, I don't know. It could, I guess. I read in the United States they're talking about it peaking in 45 days. Man, that's a long time. The authorities should not blacklist overstars. Now, I will say this: for the time being, you can still go out of your house and get food. You can get essential items, and you can do that even in the mall. You can even walk outside, and you can go pretty much wherever you want. I wouldn't go out without wearing a mask, though. You can't get there. There's a lot of Amazon. I can't get to Amazon. Let me see if I can get to it now. No, it's not working right now. I can't get into Amazon. So there's quite a few pages that I can't get to. Yeah, that Amazon page is not loading. So what's going on in the U.S. is now going on in Thailand, and I will say this though: I was surprised. I saw that, well, somewhat surprised. I saw that at Lumpini Stadium, the new Lumpini Stadium. If you've been here for or come here for a while, you know there was an old Lumpini Stadium next to Lumpini, near Lumpini Park, and now it's in another area. That Lumpini Stadium was packed with spectators. There was a big event on March 6th, and 100 people in the stadium were infected. And then the thing is that a lot of them would come to watch the fight. They'd come to watch some kid who they know from their village, or maybe the father would come because their kid was fighting in Lumpini and it was a big thing. So he'd bring their family, and they were all from, say, Konkan or Roxbury or something like that. And then they would split and go back home, and they were infected. They didn't know it, and then they're giving it to other people. And these people may not even know it yet. It may not have hit them yet. There's a lot of things that I don't know. I just saw this in the bank. What was it? On Fox News. Um, so this is not good. This is a crazy. It's gonna. I don't want to think about what it's gonna be like in about a week. That's why if you're here, you probably already know. If you're here and you're an expat, you already know uh, it's a good idea to stay inside. If you're not an expat, you're a tourist, I don't know what to tell you other than stay inside. Only get food when you need it. Get your food, stock up on stuff as much as you can, and try to work with the hotel if you don't have the money. That's I know that's an issue. I mean, listen, I used to come here and I'd have 1,500 bucks, and I'd be here for 2 weeks, and I'd say, okay, I can spend $100 a day. Now, if I had to stay an extra week or two, that would have been tough, and that's the position a lot of these people are in. Let's see what's going on here. Well, this page is loading. Yeah, today 89 people in Thailand. Uh, 89 new patients, new cases. Now the total is 411. Doesn't seem like much, but it could, it most definitely could spread like wildfire. And I don't want to get too freaked out. I don't want to, I don't want to get, too hyped up about this. But everybody's locked down to the point where the only reason you should be going out is to go get food or do something that absolutely has to be done. I may start walking in the morning at like 4 o'clock in the morning or something, go for a little walk just to get out of the house, because I'm starting to go a little crazy, stir crazy here. I've been out once in the last, what is today? 8, 9, 10 days. I've been out once in 10 days, and that was only for about an hour. I just took a song towel, went across the street, did the little video, shot it as I was walking or as I was entering places, and then got the groceries that I needed, and then came right back and split, came home. So I haven't been out that much. I may go, I don't know if I'll do that, but it's possible at 4 a.m. for me to walk in my village and there's nobody in the middle of the street. So nobody's going to come into contact with me, even so, I will wear a mask, and just in case somebody comes upon me and says, hey, what's up? Why aren't you wearing a mask? Everybody's wearing masks now. If you're not wearing a mask, you risk getting into trouble. Now, my buddy just called me from Pattaya, and he said, oh, all the restaurants are open, everything's, the bars are closed or whatever, but some of them are open. And he's like, oh, but he's coming back. And I'm like, well, you better get back quick because, who knows what they do. This is the thing. You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what the government's going to do. You know, if they lock down everything, you may not be able to get out of your village. You're gonna have, just like in France, you got to show a paper. You have to print something out off the internet. I don't know if the internet. Let me see if I can get onto these sites yet. I think right now the Thais are frantically calling each other and seeing what they can do online. People in the United States probably same thing. I don't know what time is it there now. 9:20 on the East Coast, 9:20 a.m. on Saturday on the East Coast. But we, like I said, we're okay for water. We have enough water to last us for 2.5 months or so, 3 months, maybe even more. We have, I don't know how many kilos, or 20 kilos of rice. I mean, we did what we could, but it is first of all, it gets expensive. You start buying things, and you're buying, instead of buying one thing, you're buying three or four. Then your costs go up. So we just have to be careful and buy what we need, what's going to last the longest, and um, what's going to be beneficial for us for the long term, just in case. I don't see them closing down, highways and not allowing food to go through. I don't see that happening. I really don't think that's going to happen. But at worst, we're going to have to, we'll have all this stuff, and and we'll be able to hold out for a while. At best, things will get better real quick, and we'll have some stock. You're gonna go cut 13. Got 13 heads to cut today. Well, you have a good luck with that. I don't know why you'd be doing that right now. How are they? Any gouging? Not that I know of. My wife bought like 4 big bags of oatmeal, rolled oats. I mean, big bags, and they were 80 baht each. And normally the bags are about 99 baht for a kilo. These look like they're a kilo and a half or 2 kilos. So we have some oatmeal, we have some rice, we got bananas at different stages. Really, really, really green, and then we have some a little less so, and so I think we're all right for the time being. And I do have some tequila. I got plenty of tequila, and I'm gonna have a shot. I haven't had a chance to get any beer or wine, which I'm not a huge drinker, but thanks, Suckerhorn. Look, you can see there's not a whole lot left. This is good stuff, and I drank some of it. I drank a little bit of it. I'm gonna have a shot, not to get trashed, but just I think it's Turkey. There's some kind of a belief, or whatever you want to call it, that a man makes this, or maybe it's a Native American, excuse me, I almost said Indian, belief that you make decisions once when you're stone cold sober, and once when you're a little bit inebriated. Now, I'm not really going to get inebriated, but yeah, medicinal purposes only. That's all. Just a shot or two. Don't expect me to get trashed in this stream. I don't think my wife would take too kindly to it right now. Don Julio, 1942. Very smooth. Very, very smooth. Well, if it's no worse than, see, I tend to disagree with that, because it sounds like you're a barber or whatever, salon, whatever, whatever they call them, hair cutter, barber, uh, stylist, maybe, I don't know. Uh, we are not virologists. We do not study uh, diseases, and so I just, the thing is obviously there's so much information out there that it's very hard to determine what's what. And I stayed off the internet and looking at the news for the past couple of days since the last stream. I thought about streaming today earlier, and then I just I can wait till tomorrow. And then it's too important right now. And the thing with it about as far as the flu and everything like that, all right, the flu kills a lot of people every year. Well, guess what? This is far more contagious and it's far more deadly. So if it gets out of hand, there is on one of the sites, I don't remember if it's Reuters or CNN or BBC or some, I don't remember what site it was on, but there is a map that it shows if the world contains this virus, how will it look once it peaks and then falls off? And if the world doesn't contain it, or does like a medium containment, then it shows how it will be. And the map is pretty well saturated. And then they show if we just take this for granted. And the entire globe is covered up in red, which means it's going to be complete. Everybody's going to be infected. Now, listen, I admit there's part of me that says, hey, you know what? If people get infected and they die, maybe this is nature's way of culling the herd. I wish that I didn't think that way, but I do. Okay? But then on the other hand, on the other hand, tell that to all the people who die because of the CCP, because of the Chinese government. Now, in no way, I want to make this clear right from the beginning, in no way do I mean to bash Chinese people, because I have quite a few friends who are Chinese, including friends that live in Hong Kong or that are Hong Kongers. But the CCP, that's a different story. For all their talk, they're to blame. In my opinion, they are fully to blame. All right, listen. Doesn't really matter, okay? Because neither of you guys are experts. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. Nobody's an expert. None of us are experts. I wish I had an expert on. I'd say if you wanna listen to an expert, there are some people online that are experts. Go ahead, you can find them. Take care. Be careful. Be safe, especially if you're cutting hair. Yeah, the what is it? Seven separation. What is it? 7 levels of separation or something like that. 7 degrees of separation. Oh man. Yeah, 7 degrees of separation. That's right now. I'm not really. I'll tell you what, I'm not all that fearful for my kids, although I am fearful. I don't want them to get sick in any way. I don't care if it is a flu, because then there's the danger that it will be more serious, or that it will do more serious damage to the lungs long term. I don't want them getting it, and they're not going anywhere. They are completely quarantined. They're not going out. The only time I'll go out is maybe if I'm gonna walk to the grocery in the morning, or if I'm gonna do an early, very early morning walk when nobody will be out. Other than that, and I don't even know how many times I do that because I got a treadmill. I can always do that because Uh, but what I really worry about is my wife because she is still working, going out working. She is not yet. Her company has not yet sent her home and said you can work from home. And so she is coming into contact with people. And then when she's going out, she's telling, no, 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 I'm going to go out and get, she's going to go out maybe, I don't know what time she'll go out. I don't know if she's going to be able to go out tonight because I don't know if the market's going to be open early in the morning. It says that they're closing tomorrow. So I don't know. Will they be open early in the morning, like until 8 o'clock? Or I don't know. She probably would know better than I, but she's running around right now. And I'm not about to get in her way because, she's in that frame of mind where, just don't ask me anything. Don't ask me anything. Don't, what? Unless you got something really important to tell me, don't, I don't believe anything they say either. I have a hard time believing what they say. And even there, I saw a video of the people who were the health workers who were coming back to, I don't know, Beijing or wherever they were taken from. They were leaving the Hubei province. And they had, people lined up on the roads waving at them. Oh, thank you, waving their flags. I'm sorry. I don't get the CCP. I never will. And because I'm on YouTube, I'm not going to say anything that I shouldn't, but saying that, I will say some things on the podcast tomorrow. The podcast that I'm gonna start up again. It'll be on my website for a little while, and then it'll start going up onto Apple and Spotify and everything like that. I don't know the other ones. I can't even keep track of them all. I got too much. Listen, I got information in my hard drive is full. That's what I was saying earlier. All right, that's enough. If I could, I wish I could just sit and sip a beer, but we don't have any beer. Nice, smooth stuff. Well, listen, here's the thing. If you can't fly to Japan, there ain't going to be any Olympics. That's the way it goes. And everybody's taking a hit. Now, I got to say, Chonkeo. Let me see here if I can find it. I'm a little all over the place tonight. Chonkeo. Boy, I haven't said that in a long time. All right, let me go here to this. There we go. All right. The internet seems fine here, but I think it's just certain locations. Let's see. Where's that failed world meters? Let's see if it loads. Worldmeters.info not loading. There were some comments. Yeah, I know that they probably slowed it down. That's my thinking. But, it's funny that some of the sites, you can't load them at all. Some of them load slow. Some of them, shut down Magic Jack. Completely shut down for me. Can't get it. They don't want me using the bandwidth, I guess, or somebody, I don't know who it is. They don't want me using the bandwidth to make phone calls overseas. Maybe it uses a lot of bandwidth, and I don't know the whole deal. But let me say, there's a couple of comments, and some of them I don't really know how to take them, but I would say that now is not the time to slam Thailand for its policies on tourists. And oh, Thailand's going to fall in the gutter without tourists and yada, yada, yada. That's not the time. This is not the time to do that. There's no reason to get cunty about it. You know, that's like saying, oh, well, America's got President Trump, so why should we ever go there? All right, then fuck off and don't go. You know what I'm saying? So when I said, yesterday I put up a little video, last night I put up a little video, important public service announcement. And I said, hey, Thailand's going to be basically, the borders are pretty much shut down. You're going to need, first of all, you got to be able to get here. If you get here, you got to have a health report, health certificate that is no older than 72 hours. Not easy to do. You got to get that is a test showing that you're negative. So now I stated this, and I get this comment. Oh, it's good that way. See how Thailand will adapt without foreigners. Not very nice. And I, whatever. Listen, if you don't like Thailand, don't come. And I believe this guy, if he's who I think he is, he's come many times. In fact, he's got a girlfriend who's Thais, and he's still complaining about it. Yeah, if you got out of here in time, just like I was telling Longhorns earlier today, that my getting out of California when I did was me dodging a bullet, because I got out of there 25 years ago, almost 26 years ago now. And that was at the right time. Anyway, I wrote to this guy. I said, hey, I got news for you. Singapore, because he's in Singapore, Singapore will also be in the toilet without foreigners and tourists. If this goes on for more than a few months, those casinos and other non-essential businesses will be laying people off. No Chinese, no Malaysians, no Thais, no money, which means no honey. This is good for no one. Although I will blame the Chinese government for this. Right now is not the time to blame. Wow, this is going to be crazy. Let me see something here. Magic Jack. T. All right, where was it? If I can find it. Government considering. No, that's not it. Where is it? Yeah, no cuntiness allowed. Sorry for the foul language. But, that's the way it goes. What are you going to do? Let's see here. Where is it? Well, I just saw it a little while ago. But anyway, there are organizations, or I don't know where it is. I wish I could find it. Let me see here. Okay, now you see eBay, the page finally loaded, but it is completely out of whack. It's so slow, it can't load the page. Well, this one's not gonna, that's no big deal. What about this one? All right, Facebook is working. Yeah, shopping frenzy before the shutters come down. That's what's going on right now. Oh my goodness. Crazy, man. It's crazy. Yeah. This is the thing. Look at this. I'm looking here. Thai Air Asia suspends all international flights until April 25th. My buddy he was asking me, you think I should fly to Cambodia? And I was like, no, don't fly to Cambodia, dude. Whatever you do, you don't want to get stuck there, man. I was like, yeah, you're probably right, man. But the thing is that there are organizations that are considering taking action against the Chinese government. I don't think it is going to do a bit of good. Yeah. I don't think it's going to do a bit of good. I don't think they really care. To be honest, I don't think they care about anything except the fact that they think that they've saved face because they showed that although they have a large number of people who were infected, they've contained it, they've got better. Ha ha, look at us. And I don't like that kind of arrogance from them and this bullshit about them restricting the number of pharmaceutical drugs that come into the country. And this is why we need to just sorry, here you go, Gwyneth Paltrow, who I used to like when I didn't hear her speak or when she didn't own Goop. I used to like how she looked. I thought, oh, what a nice looking woman. You know, this is years ago when she's like with Brad Pitt. Now I say the United States and other countries need to consciously uncouple. Get away from China, leave them in the dust. It's going to take a lot of adjustments, but don't even think about doing business with them. Let me tell you something. I wouldn't go to China now. Sorry to all the good Chinese people who I know there, and I do know a few. And, you know, again, I'm not attacking all of the Chinese, but the Chinese government and those people who really believe in their government, for whatever reason, I'm sorry, they're just as dangerous because, you know, their motives may be different than the Chinese government, their motives, but they still have motives that are dangerous. And like I said to somebody the other day, it's like you get a guy who's crazy and he's trying to physically touch you and assault you, and maybe you're worried he's going to hit you. But he's crazy, and you're like, oh, well, I'm not going to do anything. Then, you know, he cracks a bottle over your head. Oh, that's not too smart to let the guy do that. The guy gets close enough to you, and he puts his hands on you. You do what you got to do, whether, you know, whatever it means. You know, hit him over the head with a bat if you have to. And, you know, I'm not espousing violence, but with these people who are running the government in China, they don't give two shits about people dying. They don't care. They don't care what happens in Hong Kong, and I've said that for a long time. And, you know, it's just one more thing that now they wonder why there's anti-Chinese sentiment, and there is a lot of it. You know. Oh, man. Well, you know, I have I can't feel sorry for those kids who, you know, they don't listen. There's a time to be invincible and a time to go, hey, you know what? Is it, you know, like I always say, risk reward. What's the reward? Oh, I'm going to go down spring break and get laid, man. We'll smoke some dope. Gonna get shit-faced, get drunk. Yeah, Corona fire, I get it. Yeah, and then you give it to your grandmother who dies. In the meantime, your mother has it. She doesn't know she has it. She walks out. She gives it to 5 other people in her bridge game. And then those people go on and give it, and it just keeps going. You know. Young and dumb. All right, what is this? Oh, all right. So now you see some of the internet speed is starting to come back. Let me see, because the pages that aren't loading, either they're just completely not loading, or some of them are loading, but you know, it's instead of seeing the photos are not showing up. All you're seeing is boxes and links. And even this is really, yeah, this is not good. Anyway. Not working. But what was I going to say? If I can find it here. Where's it at? Yeah, you know, we can all thank the CCP for all of his chaos. Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know about that. I was wondering that myself. I've been thinking about that. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's true, or I don't know if it's just begun. And the people who they have in the beginning were lucky. I don't think it has to do with the climate. I don't think it has anything to do with the climate. And I wish I could get my, I could get everything to where I could see what's up. I don't have my other phone. Yeah, very difficult to get information. Oh man, all government. Yeah, they're all putting a minimum speed so that it. The thing is that I read that some of these internet providers, at least in the U.S., stating, "Oh, we have a large buffer built in for things like this. We don't need to worry about it. I think we're going to be a little stretched, but we'll be okay." And then they're cutting back, cutting back. I can't even. I don't even see my stream right now. Let's see here. Oh shit! Shoot. I don't even see the stream. The stream is not real. I can see it on my phone. See everything on my phone, but on my computer, it's just spinning. I don't even know if it'll load this time. Oh, yeah, there it goes. All right. They knew this was coming, not only in China. Yeah, I think this was well. There are a number of people who have come out now, and they're like, I said 10 years ago there was going to be, and Bill Gates called. We are not prepared for this. So, and I'll tell you something. I said a long time ago that I thought if this planet was to go, if everybody on the planet was to die, it would be because of some virus that we couldn't contain. That's what I thought. But yeah, I don't believe it's the heat, man. The heat's not going to do a damn thing. I don't believe that. I just don't. People have had this, for weeks here in Thailand, and while they haven't died, who knows what the reason is from that? They could be, I don't know. Some of them I know, some of them are in their 30s and 40s, even in their 20s. I don't know if I can pull up the Thai page for this. Let's see. We have a few freeze frames. What am I, Jay Giles? Freeze frame. Yeah, I can't get to the COVID page for Thailand. Well, that's the thing. I've had a number of people contact me. Some of them my friends, some subscribers, and they were asking me, should I come? You think I should cancel my trip? That puts me in a bit of a spot because, if I tell them to cancel and everything turns out to be all right, then it's like, I miss seeing my girl because of you. I missed my wonderful trip I've been planning for 3 years. You know what I mean? So, Malaysian cases approach 1,200. Malaysia's basically closed. It's locked off. Google launches a COVID-19 site. Vietnam to bar all inbound flights. I mean, if I wanted to go home right now, it would be a nightmare. And I would just be pissed. And let me tell you something. I am pissed off at the Chinese government. And for those people who stood by silently and didn't say anything and just let this go by for a month without even saying a word, hiding it so they could save face. It's like, what the All right, where's the page at? Let me see if I can find this link. The site, which, let's see if it opens. Oh yeah, on Google it's gonna open right away. It opened like in record speed, record time. Seen event 2001. What is it? The event 2001 pandemic. Yeah, I saw that. Somebody sent me that. And I watched the guy, and while some of it, you can piece it together and go, oh, wow, maybe that makes sense. It's just really hard for me to believe that people with money who basically have lives that most people would die to have, uh, are in some conspiracy with only a few people around the world so that they can conquer the world and make what they want to happen. Now, I will say that I've heard places saying, oh, there's not going to be any more currency notes. There won't be, everything will be done with coins. Now, we've been moving towards that for a while. Now, I don't particularly like it because what it means is they get to track you. They know what you're doing. There's nothing better than knowing you're going to go to a place and you pay everything with the cash. Now, the other thing is that it really doesn't matter. They're tracking you anyway. If you got cash or whatever, they probably got a camera. Camera's tracking you. So how are you going to get away from it? So this is all, I don't know that there's this big conspiracy. I think that people just kind of follow suit and take part in it. Medical theory of slow sub-Saharan spread is due to high and long interim take of some malaria drugs that could be their blessing in disguise. A lot of people try to get Alzheimer's. So, good luck with that. In Vientiane? I don't know about that, man. Anyway, so, that's what's going on. I just wanted to let everybody know. Crazy, and I said a couple of weeks ago, I said, this is a once in a lifetime occurrence. And I truly believe that. I do believe that. This is kind of like a world war, except nowhere near as violent. And it's not a war between countries, it's a war against a virus. Although I do think that like a country like China is licking their chops right now. They think that, the United States is vulnerable, Europe is vulnerable. Hey, let's jump on them in whatever way they can. I wouldn't put it past them. They may not trust our government any more than I trust their government, and it really doesn't matter to me. I don't really care. I don't trust their government, and I don't think I ever will in my life again, and you know what? That's okay. Doesn't really matter. I'm just a little guy. I'm one of the ants in the anthill, and me trusting what happens, at some other anthill means nothing. Yeah, you see, I got a little playback error because the internet's too slow. At least here on my end. But it seems to be uploading seems to be fine. Mr. Mitch, what's happening? You are a busy guy, aren't you? All over the place, morning to night. China. That's what Trump says. China. I call it what it is. China. The China virus. China. Every time I see that clip, I laugh. Oh, man. It's hilarious. China. I'm going to have to do some kind of a meme. I'm going to have to tell my kids to make sure they get some kind of meme done about that. They're always talking about memes, which I don't really even know what it means, but I got an idea. I know what it is, but I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, I don't know if is everybody here hiding from what's happening here. Yeah, but Russia's another. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Russia's another country where uh, I wouldn't believe them. I think Putin is the kind of guy that and he said it. He wants to restore Russia to its former greatness, and I wouldn't put anything past them. And I don't listen. I barely believe my own government. Most of the time, I don't. I like Trump better than I like Hillary Clinton. But that doesn't mean I think that he is the best person to be the president of the United States. But I do like that, he will say what he wants to say and he'll do what he wants to do. And if you don't like it, tough shit. I like that. Um, and I think the United States needs somebody like that. But I think when it comes to Iran, Russia, North Korea, China, I think I don't believe any of them. I don't believe my own government. Like Trump saying he's going to give every American up to a certain point $1,000 or $1,200, and for the kids they get $500. For a family, get $3,000, whatever it is. Come on, maybe he's trying to buy time. Maybe he's really going to do it, and I suspect he will, or they will. The government will. And, hopefully that includes me. I don't know. Maybe. Because on my I still have my Social Security card. My kids have U.S. Social Security cards. Only thing is we may not get it as a family. But, it would be nice if we did. But I'm not going to, whinge and cry if we don't. Well, yeah, I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm an adult. And I don't make what the minimum would be to be considered wealthy. So, it'd be nice if I got it, but I'm not expecting it. That's the thing. It buys time. It gives people a few weeks. I mean, think about it. $1,000. All right, maybe it gives you, well, I don't know. Listen, I got to say, I saw some video I wonder if she's on YouTube. Let me see here. I gotta check her out, man. I saw this video. I don't know if it was yesterday or day before yesterday. When you get old, the days run together. Auntie Fee. Yeah, she is on here. Auntie Fee. All right, her name is Auntie Fee, and she's an African American woman. And I saw her on Facebook the other day, some Facebook video. And she was, see you later, buddy. She was cooking some top ramen. Now, normally, like the way that I make top ramen, or my wife makes top ramen, if we're going to make it any other way than as a soup, is what we do is we put it in the water, hot water. The water gets the noodles soft. When the noodles are soft, we drain the water. We throw in a couple of eggs or a little bit of meat or whatever. And then sometimes we'll put the top ramen in with some spices and whatever else they give you. And then we fry it up in a wok. Turns out really nice. Mama noodles, Pad mama, right? Like pad thai, except they're mama noodles from a little pack. She's on this, what do you call it, the Facebook video, and she's telling it, I guess it was her son, and she's swearing at him. She's like, I'm gonna tell you how to cook up these mama noodles, or these noodles. I'm gonna cook up these noodles. They're gonna feed 7 people. You're gonna feed 7 people. So you just break them all up. So she broke up the noodles. She puts them in the pan. She's frying them all up. She put a little oil in there. Thank you very much, Mark. She appreciate it. She put a little oil in there. She's frying up these noodles. They're hard, these noodles. She's trying to smush them down. right? I rubbed this on me. That's funny. Uh, so she's frying up these noodles, and then she goes, "All right, so what you got here? You see here, I got me some hot water." She poured the hot water in there, and she goes, "I got me 50 cents of beef." She puts the beef in, starts mixing it all up, and then starts putting all the spices they give with the noodles. And this her poor son, her son's going, "Oh, so that's all the meat you can put?" Yeah, what you talking about, motherfucker? It's $3.39. Gonna feed 7 people. I'm telling you now, it's gonna be good. And he's like, okay, okay. And she's just like, she's the boss. Her name is Auntie Fee, and I just looked her up. She is on, um, she's on YouTube. I'm gonna have to start watching her. She's a riot. Where's she at? Let me see if this is on here. Oh, we got Auntie Fee's Cooking Disaster. How many subscribers does she have, man? Oh, it's Auntie Fee and Tavis. Tavis must be her son or her nephew or something. She got 829,000 subscribers. Holy moly, man. She got a website. She's badass. Lemon garlic baked catfish. She's great, man. I love her. I love her already. Where's it at? Because you know what? I might have to use some of her recipes here. Let me see if I can find a $3.39 one. I'll give you guys a little entertainment for later if I can find it. Damn. Oh, how I feeds? Yeah, here we go. Oh my God. You gotta watch this, man. I wish I could make videos like her. She's a riot. Yeah, hopefully that'll work. There you go. That's a good one. Don't know if anybody knows, but I'm gonna have it up tomorrow. I'll have some videos of it up and everything. But first, young Thai guy got busted by the camera smearing spit all over the inside of the BTS elevator. He went in the elevator and then he went up or went down, then got out, looked around and got in again, went up, went down, got out, and then he came in, then he looked around, and then he just started touching the walls and spitting. He's grabbing his balls and then wiping it on the wall. And I guess I saw earlier that they in the news that they found the guy. Now, I don't know what the guy's name is, but he was Thai. Everybody was thinking he was Chinese, but he wasn't Chinese. And I have a video up of this. It's going up tomorrow. Not on this channel. It's going up on my website, AmericanInBangkok.com, along with the podcast that I do. But also, yeah, she's badass, man. And, she's... She doesn't mince words either. I don't know how, if she's always monetized or what, if she's making a living off that. But she's badass. I mean, she's like, "You dumb motherfucker." I told you once already. Get your greasy ass hands out of there. Get your fingers out of there. I mean, she's just, I've seen her before several times. I've seen a couple of her videos. She's funny. If you like that kind of thing. Let's see here. Yeah, the other one was of a woman. Now, this was a Chinese woman who somehow she didn't know exactly where she was or what she was doing, where she was going. She got on a public bus. And I think it pays a little bit more than that, buddy. I hate to tell you. It really depends on the length of the views and a lot of other things like that, but more than $1,000. But anyway, so this lady stumbles onto this bus. She gets on the bus. She's Chinese. There's this young girl, and she's spraying alcohol. She's spraying pure alcohol. Where she's sitting, and she's Yeah, it's not. It's more than that. I can tell you, it's more than that. It's closer around $3,000, depending on the channel and some other factors, which of course Google doesn't tell you. Uh, However, now let me. Man, this thing is just lagging. Let me continue with my story here. She gets on. The little girl's spray. Young girl spraying alcohol like on her seat and on the hand. The little part you grab onto in front of her on the bus and everything. She's spraying it, trying to disinfect it. And so this lady starts saying, "What's in that? What's in that? What's in that?" And she's Chinese, but she's speaking in, she sounded like she spoke good English. And the girl's like standing there. You can't really see her face, and she's just going, "What? Like what?" And the lady snatched it out of her hand. And I don't know, exactly everything that transpired because you don't really see everything. But the lady started spitting all over the bus. So of course they stopped, and when they got to Sarapburi, and they told her, "Well, we want to test you for for the Wu flu," and they told her no. She told them no, no, not going to do it. So they let her go. I don't know why they let her go. She gets on a train bound. She just turns right around. She's in Saraburi, which is, a couple hours away. I don't know how many. The last time I went there, it was for a boxing event. I was photographing it. And they had these helium balloons right around the ring. And some of the balloons got free and went up. And how come they caught on fire? For some reason, they caught on fire. I don't remember why. I'd have to really think about it. But they caught on fire, and it stopped the fight. It interrupted the fight. They had to stop the fight for a little while. How many hours is it? It's I don't even remember. Yeah, it's not that far. A couple hours, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours. Anyway, so the lady, what she did was, when she got to Sarapare, they told her, you want to get your, they asked her, you want to get your test? We're going to test you. No, I'm not going to test. She gets on a train, gets right back on a train, goes to the train station, and jumps on a train for Bangkok, and then they decided to arrest her, because she started all kinds of problems again. Now, she was Chinese, and that's been in the news. It's been all over the news. In fact, my wife showed it to me. Shit. My wife showed it to me yesterday, and my wife was pissed off. My wife didn't like it. She was like, "Hey, we don't need these kind of people in our country." I was like, "Yeah, well, some people, whatever reason, they got some reason where they feel like, Hang on a second. All right, battery's going down on my phone. Now it's not. Now Dana White, I don't know if anybody knows this, but Dana White said that the fight between Khabib, too bad Gennaro's not here. Khabib, he's about the only one who might be able to kill this Wuhan. Anyway, he's fighting Tony Ferguson. And although the other UFC events have been canceled, that this fight between Ferguson and Khabib is going to proceed, even if it's not in front of any. There's no crowd. It's going to happen, and of course the mainstream media is all pissed off. Now, one thing that I just don't understand about the media, it's like, Jesus Christ, what is your freaking motive? Is it money? Is it just money? Why are you so apt to jump on somebody? The guy's not. I mean, it's like anything that Trump says is never good enough. Anything that Dana White says is not good enough. Say something in your an actor and you say something against the left, and guess what? You get trashed, and you don't. You know, it's hard for you to find work. I mean, what is the deal with these people? I don't get it. Honestly, I'm baffled by it. You know, then again, I don't need to know why everything happens, but it would be nice if I knew this. But you know, I don't buy it, man. It doesn't something don't jibe. All right, so I gave you the COVID thing, the Google COVID. Yeah, all right. Oh, I thought it was 9 stitches. Well, that's good. Hang on a second. I gotta do something here. It's gonna take a while to heal, man. You know. Now, if you were in any of the streams the other day or a couple days ago, Tim is the guy who went out. Yes, definitely. He went out. You know, it was early in the morning, and some Thais were out drinking. They were getting loud, and he went out, and he's like, "Hey, shut up!" And they basically jumped him and beat him up, cut his head open, which isn't funny. Well, you can't see it now. I think it's right here. Let me see. It's hard for me to see. Yeah, right here. This is in Phuket. Oh no, wait. This one wasn't in Phuket, or was it? I can't even remember. I have about 3 or 4 of them. This one was, I believe, it was in Phuket, and I said something to somebody, and they said something to me, and I kind of walked away and turned my back on them, and they hit me with a belt buckle, and it cut me open, and I turned around. They started walking away, and as soon as they started walking away, and I ran up behind them and cracked them, and that was the end of it. It was over, and then I got into it. This is 20. Almost 25 years ago. It was right when about 24 years ago. And I was very lucky because some tuk-tuk driver of all people said, "Oh, get in, get in." Okay, man. I got in, and boom, he zoomed me off. I was staying in Patong. You know, if you go down Soy Bangla, there used to be a place called Valhalla, and if you move towards the street, and you get out to the main road, which I don't remember what it is right now. Ratutit or something like that. I can't remember. There was a little bar there, and I had gone in there, and I was minding my own business, and that happened. But anyway, the point is, you know, if at all possible, listen, even here, where, you know, some Thais are viewed as being very passive and mellow. That's a bunch of horse shit. And like I was saying before, right now it's very peaceful, and it's, oh, the Thais are holding it together and blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Wait until it gets worse. I hope, I pray, even though I don't pray, that they don't get too carried away, and, you know, like the police don't get involved and start beating people up and shooting people, anything like that. I hope that doesn't happen. Now, I don't think it will. Thai people are very strong people. You know, they're like willow. I just watched Kung Fu the other day for the first time in many years. They're like the willow tree, or whatever it was he said. They're like the willow tree. They can yield when they need to yield, or something like that. You know, they always come out with these kind of enlightening phrases, or whatever you want to call it. I don't feel like thinking about it too much. Anyway, so yeah, so Sasha, I take it you're still in Thailand. This is not really a lockdown at this point because they're not forcing people to be inside. You're still But I do see a lot of people who just, at least the other day when I went out the other day. Yeah, buenos dias. I went out the other day, which was, I guess, 2 days ago. No, 4 days ago. I don't remember how many. I think 4 days ago. Or you do what I told you. You go out there and you go, hey, my friends, hey. If you're more drunk than them, my friends, you have one beer for me. Oh, and then you're like, oh, my wife, she hear big noise outside. You're very loud. Please, oh, I don't want my wife. Maybe she hit me. You just have to be an actor, man. That's what you got to do. Either that or you ignore them, which is what I usually do now. I'm in Saturn. I had a visit at Tim Hortons, Taco Bell, and Bangkok, Putney. Well, huh. Up north, I see kids in school uniforms. Oh, yeah. Listen. If they told Alex to go in, I would tell him no. You're not going in. You're gonna have to work something out. I wouldn't let him go in now. I think that of all of us, the kids are the least likely to have any serious issues. But there is the half of the well, nah, there's a lot more people wearing masks now than there been before. When I went out the other day, and I suspect that's going to continue to increase. Wow, that's a lot, man. But yeah, I suspect that it's going to get a little bit crazier, and that people will be wearing their masks more. One thing is that while the mall is technically open just so that you can get your groceries or pharmaceuticals or any of the other necessities, um, you may, and this is what I'm thinking, you may have to be wearing a mask to be able to go in. And as funny as it sounds, you may have to wear gloves at some point. I don't know. Schools in East Sun are shut. Yeah, schools are shut down here, at least where my kids go. They're shut. I don't want my kids going anywhere. You know, I told them you can walk outside as long as you're about 10 feet away from people. You can walk outside. You can go in front of the house, get some air, stretch your legs, anything like that. Cool. We only have the yellow rubber gloves that you like scrub the toilet with. That's it. Now, we did do something that I've never done before, which is, we took stock of our water, and we want to make sure that we stay stocked up. If not for any other reason, then it's always good to have it so you don't have to worry about it. He's back in the hospital. Yeah, I know they were spraying chemicals. That sucks. You gotta be careful of that, man. That's what Roger Mayweather, he just passed away from that, man. So you better make sure she takes care of that. Longhorns, I take it you just woke up. Um, Man, I've been having a hard time sleeping lately. I'll be honest, and I don't know if it's just thinking of making sure that we're prepared, and I'm not really worried. I mean, like I don't, I prefer not to die where I feel like I'm drowning, and I certainly don't want anybody else in my family. That's what I fear. I don't want anybody else to have to go in the hospital or have anything happen to them here. Wow. Yeah. Well, now's the time you better take damn good care of her. Yeah, I wonder, man. But you're kind of like me. I sleep like 4 hours a night, and that's about it. And yesterday it was like I went to sleep at like midnight. I woke up at like 2, couldn't get back to sleep. Then I fell back asleep, and I woke up. I fell asleep at like 3:30. Woke up at 4, was up until 6. Then I fell asleep for like a half an hour, and that was it. That was my whole night. I slept terribly. I did forget to take the melatonin though, so yeah, these sites are not loading. A lot of them are not loading. Crazy. The governor asked the public not to panic and hoard goods. Yeah, right. Please don't be alarmed. I guarantee you will be able to buy food and goods sufficiently. Yeah. Yeah, that's it's nothing to play with. That's why they call it the silent killer. Isn't that what it is? What they call it? All right, so now they're saying they're partially open, the malls. That's what they say. Partially open. Based on Section 35 of the Communicable Disease Act. You know what I find really intriguing? And I would like to research this maybe when I get a little older and I have a little more time to like really delve into this without doing anything else. But how do they come up with all these policies to where they're already in place? I mean, Section 35 of the Communicable Disease Act, the venues to be closed, restaurants except takeouts, and restaurants serving food for hotel guests, shopping malls except supermarket zones, drugstores or zones selling necessary items, and food shops. Takeout is permitted. So what does that mean? Like every restaurant is going to be open in the mall? Oh, is that what it is? I couldn't remember. So if all the malls are closing as of tomorrow. However, supermarkets, drug zones, or zones selling necessary items and food shops, takeout is permitted. Markets and weekend markets accept sales of fresh and dry food and cooked meals for takeout, animal feed, drugstores, and other necessary items. Beauty salons, tattoo shops, and service shops, uh, skate and rollerblade venues or other similar services, amusement parks, bowling lanes, gaming and internet shops, golf courses or golf driving ranges, swimming pools or similar service venues, fighting cock venues, Buddha amulet sales stalls, exhibition and convention centers, educational institutions at all levels, including tuition schools, which means private schools, weight control services and cosmetic clinics all closed, health spas, animal spas, massage parlors, herbal treatment centers, cinemas, theaters, entertainment places, boxing stadiums, and boxing schools, sports stadiums, and horse racetracks. So what that means is boxing gyms are going to be all closed. You bought 40 to 90, some rice and a big bag of either black or brown beans. She bought another. I thought it was she bought. I don't know how many kilos. I think we have something like 20 kilos, 25 kilos of rice. And believe me, we're using it now. Semi-Thai, the only place that's Vans. So to Hua Hin now, since it's been on the way to get there. I don't know. You got me, man. I don't remember. I went to Prajuap. Oh, but I went by train. See, that's the thing. I haven't been there by van since I went with my wife and kids, and that's years ago. So I really don't remember. I'm sorry. those who violate the closure order are liable to a jail term of up to 1 year and or a fine of 100,000 baht. Whether the shutdown now in effect in Bangkok is extended to other provinces will depend largely on the willingness of citizens to follow the government's advice to stay home if possible. See, that's bullshit. You know, I mean, if you really want to do it, if it was me, I'd say, hey, listen, I don't want to be dick, I don't want to be difficult, but y'all gonna have to stay home. And if we catch you out, we're gonna shoot you. That's all. If now, I think it's a. I'm joking, but in China they're not joking. CCP's not joking about that. But you know, like in France, they got to print out a paper from the internet, giving their personal information and the reason why they're out. And if they don't have it, they get fined or maybe jailed or whatever. I don't know if they get jailed, but I know they get fined. The central government is hoping that it will not have to enforce a nationwide lockdown, says Ms. Naramon, but it is preparing for the possibility just the same. We're ready to announce the most intense measures when the time comes. The administration's priority is ensuring the safety of Thai people. Okay, well, please ensure my safety also. Further action will be taken step by step to minimize disruptions. Man, the world is disrupted. And that's why I have a hard time ever even considering this and what they've done to Hong Kong and Taiwan. I will never forget what the Chinese government has done. Never. And you know, yeah, that's all I can say. I don't even want to get into it. It's too negative. The World Health Organization said on Friday that it suspects community transmission in Thailand is increasing and that social distancing is becoming increasingly important. Yeah. Now, the other day I put my mask on, and I put my mask on inside my house, and I had my beard. Now, all right, there you go, you bastards. Now it should work. And that's years ago. I really don't remember. What the fuck? Those who violate the closure order are liable to a jail term of up to 1 year. There we go. Cheers. All right, well, you know, things happen. It's the way it goes. That's the way we roll here at the Malin Zombie headquarters. In the meantime, my wife came in. She wants to get some sleep. But, you know, streaming takes precedence over sleep. Where's my glasses? Happy stays. If you're getting turned on by this conversation or this stream, you got problems, pal. But that wouldn't surprise me because probably everybody in this stream has problems. If you're following me, you probably got problems. You got issues. Anyway, bottoms up. Das Vidanya. Cheers. Chon Keo. Kampai. Damn. That was good. Smooth. She's a little stressed out right now, as we all are here. We're all stressed out. Are you stressed out? Huh? Or are you asleep? Yeah, she's in one of those moods. She don't want to talk to me. I don't know. It's enough to get the job done. I think it's 80 proof. %38 alcohol, which would mean it's 76 proof. Oh, I'm gonna sleep good tonight. 38%. Are you asleep already? Really? Huh? Ow. We got the alcohol. We got the Wuhan killer. This is a strange time when you think about it. Listen, I've said it before, but I still remember the days when there were 3 TV channels. That was it. There was no, listen for you Aussies out there, there was no what's his name, Paul Hogan, shrimp on the Barbie and everything like that. There was none of that. There was, like Amsterdam was like, you know, little Dutch girls and little what are the little shoes? That was what it was to me. You were lucky if you got to play Pong at home. You know, that was the era that I grew up in. So now to see everything going on now, it's crazy. If you're saying coming on, so as this virus comes down, they said people will need therapy because they're not used to being isolated. Lucky I'm used to it. Yeah, I mean, listen, I go a little stir crazy every once in a while, but then I start doing something, I get in the middle of it, or I fall asleep, and it's over. You just got to make it, make it to the next day. It's not a big deal. Find something to do. Read a book. Learn a language. Write poetry. You know. Yes, it is. Very. It's very strong. I've had my fill of that. Long ago, I had my fill of that. Out in, where was that place that I went? Sakao. Um, yeah, you got to stay busy. I've been meaning to cut my hair, so yesterday I used I hate to segue into this plug, but I used what do you call it? Manscaped. Manscaped 2.0 lawnmower. Now there is a Manscaped 3.0 lawnmower, a lawnmower. So I thought I'm gonna try to shave my head, by myself, and I did a pretty good job. Alex only had to do some minor trimmage. And anyway, so if you want any kind of Manscaped products, it's in the description. But you just use Malin20 and you get 20% off. Pretty good deal. 20% off your first order. They got the new lawnmower 3.0. Now I feel like, why do I only have the 2.0? Kind of like, why do I only have an iPhone 8 Plus? Why don't I have an 11? Why don't I have the 12? That kind of thing. Well, she is out. She's tired. She did a lot of running around today. A lot of running around, a lot of cleaning in the house, She works hard. All right, what is this? If Trump wins another term, even more therapy for snowflakes. Listen, if Trump wins another term, I propose that the snowflakes they can all go fuck themselves. Sorry, Ma. But that's what I think. Really? They're going to go fuck themselves. I mean, um, stop whining about it. He's your president. Get over it. And what really gets me is to see the mainstream media just shitting on him and kissing the ass of the Chinese government. Simply because, you know what? They don't want to acknowledge him. 1 p.m. is one of those babies that cry if they are to the left. You want some? Not yet, But, that is something we're concerned about for sure. Definitely. You know. The big thing is not so much that the companies that they can they can say to people, "Hey, listen, we're going to shut down for a few months." But we're going to give you some kind of a severance package. That's not the concern. The concern is they try to stay in business, they go under, and they can't give you shit, and then people are left with nothing. You know. Well, yeah. I mean, there it is. There. I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know, but I do think that there are going to be some major changes afterwards. I've said this before, a week or so ago. I don't know why they really need schools. Aside from maybe maybe once a week you go into a school, or once every 2 weeks you go into school, and you have a one-on-one or you have a group uh, class. But when you think about it, you could save fuel costs. Now there would be a burden on the internet system. You could save fuel costs. You could save in a lot of things. I don't know. I guess if the kids were at home, then that would mean that the parents, or like single parents, would need what do you call it? Child care. Kind of like dog walkers or something. Yeah, what's going on in the UK? I haven't looked at the BBC for a while. Let's take a look. What's going on in the BBC? Because it's daycare, I like his name. Yeah, meals. I gotta tell you that I have recognized that when, and I knew this would happen, but when Alex and Nicholas go to school in the morning, they either grab a meal. Uh, I can't even get to the BBC. They either grab a meal early in the morning, or they get something like next to their school. They pay 20 baht or whatever, 30 baht, and they get a little something to eat. So I don't have to worry about it. It's very simple. You got to give them a bowl of cereal, give them some oatmeal, a little toast, or some eggs or something. Boom, and they can make that themselves. But when they're at home for lunch, then they're like, "Oh, what are we gonna have?" Now I don't want to give them sandwiches all the time. You know, So, like the other day, I cooked them some spaghetti with cherry tomatoes and onions and garlic, and gave them a whole deal. And then I was like, oh, I should have made some garlic bread. That would have been a more complete meal. But um, you got to think about that extra meal, because when they go to school, they usually have a little cafeteria or something. You just throw them, a dollar or two. Boom, they got plenty to eat. Now it's like, oh, what do you want to eat? Oh, well, okay, I'll give you an egg. I'll give you an omelet, something like that. Yeah, that's the thing. There is the need for physical interaction, and one thing that I didn't think about is um, the need that how do you say it? I don't want it just to come off the wrong way, and I'm being dead serious here. But kids who are challenged, let's just put it that way, mentally or physically challenged. I think that's the right way to say it, the PC way to say it. But when it comes to kids and stuff, I think that's fine. But I think that they are the ones who really benefit from going to school every day. A lot. I mean, kids in general. I guess it teaches them how to socialize, and there are a lot of benefits. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I haven't studied this. I'm not a doctor who could study why the benefits of children going to school and versus staying at home, or going part time at home, and that kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. 80% of wages if you're laid up to 2,500, no matter how long you're off work. Holy shit, man! I tell you what, the Brits, in many ways, the Brits got it good. And I'll be honest, I would love to go to Ireland. but it ain't gonna happen. Ireland, Ireland's a place I want to go. I want to explore Indonesia a bit more. Myanmar, of course, because I love Myanmar. I'd like to go back to Cambodia at some point, just check out how the changes that have been made since I've been there last time. Laos, because I haven't been there in a long time. Um, but I would like to go to Ireland, and I've been to London and several other places, Manchester and stuff like that. Little places like that. What was that one place we went? Brighton Beach. I've been there several times, and I'd like to go back. But obviously now, you might as well forget about it. Like I said, what did I call this stream? Don't even think about it. Yeah, don't even think about it. You know, 15-minute class to get 5 minutes social media each hour. You know, I had this whole thing written out. I was going to talk about social media and the or 2000. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Yeah. Well, yeah, I was kind of wondering about that, Tim. I was wondering. Well, you know what's so funny? The older I get, the more I want to distance myself from people. I don't, I mean, even people that I know, I go and see them for, a couple hours, 3, 4 hours most of the time, maybe 5 hours. And it's like, all right, I got to go home. I got shit to do. I want to be with my family, you know. I don't know. You know. Oh, man. You learn how to be human. Oh. Yeah, so, like I am a misanthrope. Misanthrope. I don't know the proper way of saying that. Let me see if I can. Man, BBC didn't even come in. Let's see here. Okay. Misanthrope. Misanthrope. Hard to hear. Let's see.
Misanthrope.
Misanthrope. Okay. Not misanthrope. Misanthrope. So, yes, I am a misanthrope. They used to call people hermits. Now, I don't call myself a hermit. Because I do like my circle of friends, circle of people that I hang out with, my family. But just, enough is enough, I don't want to go out and hang out with the boys in the bar. Man, I get pissed off. I get pissed off unless I got shit faced. I go out to some bar or whatever, and I got a bunch of Thai girls going, "Oh, where you come from? What you doing? What's your name? How long you stay Bangkok?" I'll be like, shut the fuck up. Get away from me. I'll be like, get me a drink. And, I don't drink much. I rarely drink. But if I was to go in a bar with me, and I haven't been to one, I can't even remember the last time now. Which is really, I used to go all the time. I haven't been in, I can't even remember the last time I've been in a bar. Maybe not a bar, like a bar like at Nana or something like that. Last time I was in a bar was in Singapore, right next to my hotel. There was a little pub. It wasn't really like a bar. There were no like dancing girls or anything like that. It was a little pub, and it was the last day of my second trip to Hong Kong, and I thought, holy shit, this was one hell of a trip, and I thought I deserve a beer or two, and I went in, and I was like, the beers are like $10 or something like that. I was like, damn, it's expensive here. I was like, you know what? Give me a couple beers. Gave me the beers. I drank them. Went back upstairs. Went to sleep. End of story. I do like tequila, but for some reason I've been thinking about like having a martini, and also maybe having like a gin tonic or something like that. But that's not really a priority. That's not the way Thai economics work. Normally it's like, okay, your price is 1,500. Well, now guess what? Because there's no customers, it's 3,000. So you pay double. Yeah, but you don't have any. I don't care. I need to make money. So logic, man. Man. All right. I'll tell you what. That was some very smooth tequila because I've only had like one shot and it was very good. I'm gonna sleep quite well tonight. No burn. None of this Pepe Lopez horse shit where or like mezcal where you drink it and you're like you can't breathe for the next 14 minutes. What are you gonna do, man? I was gonna stream tomorrow morning, and when I found out all this stuff was happening, I was like, you know what? I better stream right now. My kid was like, why? It's not all that. I said, believe me, I'm gonna stream right now. But why? Because then I don't have to stream tomorrow. I just have to finish up my podcast, which I'm going to start podcasting, like I said. I am going to start podcasting, but I got to do like the first 10 of them. I don't want to go back like I was before on sound. What is it? Uh, those are your eyes. No, it must be your eyes. You probably had a couple drinks. um, the last time I had some podcasts go up on Apple and whatever, I'm not supposed to touch your eyes. Uh, they don't. I don't think they don't spread it out. They don't put you on Spotify and put you on all the platforms, which means you never get seen. Well, you get seen on Apple. I mean, that's probably the premier one, but or Google Play. I think I was on Google Play and on Apple, but you want to spread it out and get it on all of them. And I don't think SoundCloud does that. I need to really look into that and talk to them. But of course, you can't call them. This is the thing. Listen, these companies, they want to have companies, they want to be in business, at least have a fucking call center where you can call them up and you can talk to them. Ask a question. Instead, I got to sit there and wait for them to get back to me. I got to formulate an email. I got to sit there and write it to where I don't sound like a dumbass. Then I got to wait for them to get back to me. And then I got to just make a decision. Instead, I'd rather just call them up and go, hey, let me ask you all my questions that I have. Can't do that. YouTube is the worst. And that's the... I'm a lot more friendly when I drink, huh? What the fuck? This is a little kid, man. Now, I just got a message from a guy telling me to fuck off, and he's got all kinds of kids showing. He's a kid, or I don't know who it is. What's happening? What's happening? Damn interweb, this interweb nation thing. You ever watch Trailer Park Boys? Fuck me. Let me get some water. Hang on. Oh, need some water with that tequila. Pierre, where are you? How you doing? What's happening? Brooklyn. Oh shit, man. Oh, EMS. Dude, Soy Dog Cowboy's in New York, and I told him to go back because of his parents. Um, and yeah, I mean, I'm wondering how he's doing right now. you know, I mean, good people are suffering from this. You know, I feel even for the trolls, even for the hecklers, the bastards. You know, I learned that from an Aussie. That listen, when I was younger, I remember calling a girl a cunt once, or a bitch. Or, no, I called her a cunt. And oh my God, she was gonna dump me and she was gonna do this, and I got all upset. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Why did I say that? And then I thought to myself later on, I was like, well, she was one. She was a fucking cunt. She was totally. And then the Aussies, like the guys that I hung out with, at least, it would be like, I really don't like that guy. He's a bit of a cunt. So I started using it that way. And then my buddy, who's also Australian, told me most Australians don't use it that way. They don't use that word. And I was like, yeah, but I like it. Then I saw it on Sopranos. And I can't remember what the hell was the name? What the fuck was the name of that? Uh, um, if you ever watch the show, it's great. Oh yeah, whew, man, I got shit faced with that lady. Haven't seen her in a while, and the thing is I definitely don't want to go to Klang right now. Although I need to go one or two more times, but I'm not going now because that is a place where there's a lot of people there who may be infected and they don't even know it, and they don't have the money to go get tested. They're not gonna get tested. They'll just sit there and think they're sick, and they'll just end up dying in their little room, and that's what'll happen. And it's really sad, but I don't want to go in there and risk it. Um, but yeah, that lady in particular. But I need to go back to her twice. But that lady was pretty cool. She was always really nice, but yeah, well, you know, what are you gonna do? Some internet is not good today. Hang on. God damn it. There you go. Walked past Soy Zero today. Looked up the tracks. Is there any? There's not even any bars there anymore. Only people at Soy Zero now are the people selling food. You know. Jesus Christ, what's going on with this internet? I think that there's a problem with There's not enough fuel. Need some rocket fuel. What is going? Hang on a second. It's really charging slowly, my phone, but it is charging. I mean, all the locals who live along the track soy one side. And I'm downstairs, man. No way. All the locals who live on. Well, I used to live on soy one. And I used to live all the way at the end of soy one. That was years ago. Thankfully, I made it out of there alive. So, that's Vidania. Second shot of the night. Man, she came in knocked right out. Soy Zero. It used to be called, what was it? Not Soy Cowboy. What is the son of a bitch? used to have way too much traffic. What was it called? Buckskin Village. Or Buckskin Joe Village. What the hell was it? Oh, man. Buckskin Joe's Village. Yeah. That was many years ago. Suan Luang. Suan Luang. I'll be honest, I don't miss that area, man. If you hang out where all the business people were, that's okay. But, you hang out anywhere near, like between Soy 1 and Soy. Um, I'd say past up to about Tonglor. You hang out anywhere there, and you're in the Farang ghetto, man. That's what they call it there. It's the ghetto. It's the Farang ghetto. Even though it's, expensive to live there, it's the Farang ghetto. I mean, it's Thailand, but, you're going to get a much different feel if you go some other places. And even like Jono, he's down a ways, and he's still in an area that, well, he's not really, but there's a fair amount of foreigners where he lives. But I understand he's close to the BTS and everything, but he's got it pretty good because he's a little bit away from, he's not right in the smack dab in the middle of it. If he was smack dab in the middle of it, that sucks, man. Believe me. I've lived right in the middle of it, and it sucks. You think it's great, but then when you look back, you go, man, what a waste of time, waste of money. I mean, I used to live on Soy 1, man. Every day, I used to go to Nana Plaza in the middle of the day and, get some lunch, maybe have a beer. Most of the time I wouldn't have a beer, but every once in a while I'd have a beer or a gin and tonic. Go down to, go to, what was the name of that place? Go to Woodstock. The place was a little bit different back then. Go down to Soy 7. By the time you know it, you'll pissed away your day. And that's what a lot of guys do now. There's not as many, I don't think. But that's why, it's kind of like being a guy who just sits on the bar stool in Pattaya. You know, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go live down there? Okay, if you go down there and you got a life, you make a life for yourself. You use your time wisely. You go and you exercise. You take a walk down the beach every day. You go swimming. Do whatever you like to do. I don't know, archery. I don't know. You keep yourself busy and you're not sitting in the bars. Well, then it's great. And my buddy was like, I just wanted to get away from the city. I just had to get out of Bangkok. I was like, you went to Pattaya? Why don't you go somewhere else? But, for a couple days, it's a good place to go. Anyway, let me see where the hell I'm at here. All right, well. And what is going on with this thing? I guess this thing is still on. Let me see something else here. No. Not yet. Let's see if this one's going to work now. Still can't connect to a lot of the websites. If you could move any place in Bangkok, which area? I like the area I'm in. I don't like the fact that they're building, the BTS or whatever that's going on here, but that'll be done in a while, and then it's no big deal. I like where I live pretty much. I mean, if I'm gonna live in Bangkok, I like where I live. Maybe I could live somewhere better, but do I really want to like take the time to move? No, I don't. I'd rather, if I was gonna move, I don't want to move again. I don't want to like move. I don't want to move more than 2 times in my life again. And I know my wife, and she don't want to move either. She's like, if we're gonna move, we're moving to our own place, and we're gonna be there for like forever. Yeah, I can't believe that Kenny Rogers died. Well, I mean, I believe it, but we all go. And at the end of the day, hey, yeah, remember Kenny Rogers? Remember him? Kenny Rogers Chicken? No, Kenny Rogers. Like he used to make all these songs that were really good. Yeah, exactly. You know. The one thing is that I've always told myself to be prepared for the time that I go or someone else I know goes, and just be prepared, because you're never going to be prepared. But I always tell myself, hey, we're ever since I stopped being invincible, which fucking internet. BTS goes out far, so far now. You have more options when you're still close. Yeah, don't know that. I will have to go dead. What? Didn't know that. Not. I will have to go to dead and alive. That's too bad. Yeah, I mean, you're live. You're live and alive, and I can't see myself. There we go. All right. Max headroom. Prepare for the worst. Didn't know that. Love the chicken. BTS. Highlight of my time was to go walk around various night markets. You know, sometimes I think it's a little bit of chance, wherever you end up. Because, I mean, like at this point, um, I really don't care most of the time. As long as no one's fucking with me, like it's constantly, hey, Rich Farang or something like that, I'd be like, shut the fuck up, man. You know? Yeah, well, this is the thing. I think I'm a big problem here. Getting on the internet. Yeah, that's another thing. When I was younger, it was like, I wanted to form these attachments all the time. And I'll be honest, a lot of people talk to them. I don't talk to them nearly as much as I used to, but, every once in a while, I like that. Now, like, listen, I'm friends. If it happens, it happens. It's not that I've been watching Carl Pilkington's show, sick of it. And I watched the third episode of the first season, and he takes a trip to get away. He goes to some place, and the first thing they're doing, he goes in this. Oh, there's so many people you can do what do they call activities with. He's like, I really don't need any activities. I don't need any activities. I just leave me alone. Get out of here. And the lady was pushing him, pushing him. Then he went somewhere else to do something, and she was pushing him. And the whole time they're pushing him to get involved in all these activities and hang out with all these people. He's like, fuck me, I just want to be alone. And that's me right now. And that's me for the last 10 years. Ever since, well, listen, ever since I got married, that's kind of how I've been. I don't care. I got an old lady, got my kids, and I got a nice set of friends. My friends are great. My friends, and some of them I met on YouTube, but I mean, my friends, I don't have cunty friends. Why would I? You got cunty friends, cut them loose. Fuck me. Well, you know, I'm just doing a little advertising for. No, I'm not doing advertising. Just want to say what a good tequila that is. How many bottles I got over here? 4, 8. Those are not tequila, so 6. There's tequila in there. About 7 bottles of tequila. I haven't drank this. I haven't drank any tequila since the marathon stream I had about it. Anyway, now I don't get attached. Hopefully, I'll have a shirt coming out. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but it should be good. It has to do with I don't want to. I don't want to be around people. Enough for several more drinking streams. Oh, you know, hey man. Jesus Christ, man. Fangulo, man. Ratcheting it down, you know. I gotta shut down stuff. Let me see here. I can't believe this. This is like nothing ever in my lifetime, and um, yeah, very different. Man, Kenny Rogers did not even look like Kenny Rogers. I'm looking at this picture. Dealing's done. He doesn't even look like him. The problem is that the beer that I. Let me see here. Oh, here's a young 29-year-old girl. She started feeling. She was in Florida, and started. She was first contracted the disease, the virus in Tampa, and she believes she became infected when traveling to Milan. Everyone take a breath. I'm 29 and I made a full recovery. What is this? There was a lady buying 16 bottles of Bacardi. Now I won't be doing that. I, you know, when it comes down to it, although you know, every once in a while I don't mind having a couple of shots or whatever. I have the booze here. I probably won't drink again for another day. No, another couple of weeks or months or whatever. But if I do, I may just have a beer. And it's not because I want to get drunk. With tequila, it's kind of like you know what you're getting. But with beer, I like the dark ale because I feel like it's almost like sometimes in the morning with orange juice, you drink it and you feel like I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I do. You feel it that your body is sucking up the nutrients, you know? It's just like it's like a sponge just sucking them up. Some provide what? As someone provide visa tourist rate is close to zero now. Kind of damn bad for Thailand. You think it's not happening anywhere else? I mean, seriously. I can tell you one thing. All these people who think that, and I've been thinking about this for a long time. What would Thailand be like without tourists? Sure, they're gonna change. They're gonna be in the shitter for a while. You know what though? The Thai's not gonna just go, oh, what am I gonna do? We're all gonna be on the streets. They're not gonna do that. It's the same everywhere. They're not gonna do this shit. You know, they'll be living 20 to a room if they have to. They will. All right, wait a minute. Still can't get to the BBC website. I can't log on to the BBC website. What happened to Anti-Fee? I can't get on to Anti-Fee's website? What the fungulo, man? I'll tell you why I would prefer podcasts to YouTube videos. One is it's a little less hassle if you're just doing an audio, something that's on audio. Sky News, yeah. The other is that, like I did a video the other day, grocery shopping in Bangkok. Didn't swear. Did I swear? Didn't. I don't think I swore at all. Didn't say any bad words. Didn't do a damn thing. YouTube demonetized my channel or my video. Then I had important news for time. I really thought, hey, you know what? I'll give out some good news or some good information, and I put up important news, important public service announcement. And I told people about the fact that Thais were saying, hey, the Thai government was saying you need $100,000 of insurance, and you're going to have to be tested and test negative before you come into the country. And that goes for Thais also. As soon as I put the video up, it was demonetized. And you know what? They're making freaking millions. Millions and millions of dollars. So how am I supposed to feel? Am I supposed to feel real good? Because actually, they are a $1 trillion company, Google, who YouTube is a subsidiary of them. Let me see those fast here. All right, I got right on to Sky News. Well, the photos aren't loading. Yeah, and YouTube used to care about the small content creator and everything, but people like PewDiePie and Jenna Marbles, people who have millions and millions of subscribers. Now, what I was thinking is, I'd like to find some of the subscribers, whether they're big or small, who have suffered because of YouTube. You can't really fault YouTube, although you have to. It's kind of it's a quandary, because you want YouTube, and you appreciate YouTube for what it is, which is you can watch videos of all different types, and it's free for the most part. And yet they're so big that it's a problem because for so many reasons. But you got to look at it and go, hey, well, if it's not YouTube, who's it going to be? And who's going to provide any way for people to earn a living off their videos? Now, there are other ways to make money, no matter what platform you're on. But the fact that I'll tell you who I like. He's a guy named Pat Condell. I really like his stuff. He just did a nice video monologue about China and the virus. Wonderful. Love the guy. And he's constantly getting his videos completely pulled off the channel. Now, I just get demonetized, and I don't make all that much, man, from this stuff. It's not like I'm like, son of a bitch. But what happens the one time that I do get monetized and I have a video that I end up getting 500,000, a million views, something like that, and I do lose out on the money, I'm going to be pissed. So there are ways to, do the same thing on YouTube, and you don't have to be censored. You don't have to worry about what you say, and that's kind of why, and it's also like a backup, a secondary plan. There's, I've been subbed to them forever. There's a lot of different reasons why. But anyway, I can get some promotion from my Visa Service and Exchange. Happy to be a sponsor. As long as it's win-win, man. Okay. Sounds cool to me, man. Oh, man. Malaria, drugs. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Don't I have one more here? God, I'm gonna have to listen to so much shit from my mother. You gotta drink online. You have to drink that stuff. I just feel like drinking. I don't, you know. All cooped up for the last 2 weeks. Can you blame me? I mean, you know. This is funny. Anyway, finally, China has made something that lasts. Unfortunately, it was a virus. Yeah, that's the thing. Everything that I gotta tell you, I think there's only a couple of products that have lasted pretty good. What is that thing called? MUI, or something like that. It's an air. What do you call it? It's not a humidifier. It's a purifier or something like that. That's lasted pretty good, but I gotta tell you, I have the DJ. I have the DJI. I'm starting to slur my words. DJI Fangulo, the gimbal for the phone. That's the DJI. I think it's the Osmo 2. And they make some good stuff, but I also have a drone. It's the DJI 4. Now, they're all made in China. Now, I sat on that drone for months. The reason I sat on the drone, that's a good idea. Go out and fly the drone tomorrow morning, real early in the morning when the sun's coming up. Not a bad idea, huh? Nobody around. Um, where are we at here? This fucking thing. Slow me down. But they're made in China also, and you know, for I don't know, probably a year, I didn't use the drone because I couldn't find a DJI did not have the remote controller, and my controller was not working. So I'm stuck with this Chinese piece of shit that you know when it works, it's not a piece of shit, but because some little tiny part goes wrong, you're stuck. And then finally, I found somebody who could fix it, and he fixed it like it was nothing. DJ, you know, they were like, "Oh, it's gonna cost you like $200 to get it fixed." I was like, $2 to get this fucking thing fixed. I'm like, man, I just won't fly it. I don't give a shit, you know. No, I didn't hear about that. What the hell? What are you talking about? Oh, you bastard. So here I am, this, you know, this company that piece of shit killed himself and 80 of his family after choosing to work home. Anyway, where is it? I don't see that. I don't see it. But anyway, um, you know, this is the Chinese company, and while the how are they called? The drones. Their drones are quite good when they're working. I was pissed. I was like, listen, I got this drone here. I can't even use a goddamn thing because they can't figure out how to have parts for the controller. And then some guy, some Thai guy, who was awesome, he's got everything you need. And it's like the company that the owner, the company itself can't fix the thing. But yet this guy can fix it. I'm like, you know, whatever. Not to mention all the stuff that I've had that's Chinese made that fell apart. The little microphones and all this other shit. Never buy a microphone from China. Never buy a little adapter from China because they'll go bad in about 3 days. That's it. They have a lifespan of about 3 days. And I don't know why that is. You know, I don't want to stand over, I don't give a shit. I don't want to know. But they do. They all fall apart. Yeah, thanks a lot, Holly. I did get your message, by the way, Holly, and I appreciated it. Uh, I don't know that I want to do the things that you say I should do, but, you know, it's the way it goes. I can't put my glasses on. I can't see where the shit right now. And Chinese quad isn't that bad anymore. I wonder why. I wonder why nobody's on that person after Western Santa. Yeah, I know Fortune Town. Oh, shit. What breaks fast is the shit cost 1/4 of the price. Well, what do? You buy 3 of them and you hope they last as long as something that you buy one of that's, 3 times the price. What do you buy? You know, I don't know. AliExpress. I never use AliExpress. I use Lazada once in a while. Where's those things at that I bought from them? Shit, I don't have it. I don't know where I threw them. I bought these little what do you call them? Carabiners. Better prepared now. Make one. Yeah, but you know what? You forget about one thing, and I haven't forgot about it, and that is, while people can be, excuse me again, while people can be quite cunty and difficult and just assholes for the sake of being assholes in America, when you have an enemy and when you have a goal, I think the United States, I think they still will come together as good or better than just about anywhere. And if they need to make something, they'll make it. They'll figure out a way. They'll do what they have to do. And if you think any different, it's like, why be a fighter if you're going to go into the ring thinking you're going to lose? It's the same thing. If you think your government's going to fall apart like that, fuck, go somewhere else. The only reason I came to Thailand was not because I thought my government was shit. I came to Thailand and I moved to Thailand because I thought I'd have an adventurous life, a more adventurous life than I would in the United States. Definitely. It's already popped it. It's already popped the bubble. You know. Think about it. You think everything's going to go back to the same? You think all the, I bet your prices go up after this shit. Let's say that in 2 months everything gets better. You think it's not going to cost more to fly? I don't know. Maybe the answer is for them to cut prices and, try to make as much money up as they can. I can tell you that in Fresh Mart, like I said in the video the other day, they were having all kinds of specials. They had all kinds of specials. They didn't want to be left to where people can't get around or their food starts going bad because people can't get out, they don't want to come out, and they don't want to be sitting on all their stuff, so they'd rather sell out and sell the shit cheap. Make a tiny profit on it, or just get their money back instead of losing their ass. E20, E91, etc. have to increase. Yeah. Forget Bitcoin. What's the shit? I wish I could could see it right now. Hang on. Let's see if I can figure it out here. So you can get on e.com. This is terrible, man. Vacation. Holy shit. Frickin' internet, man. Whew. You know, this is something that I read about a couple days ago about how people were worried about will the internet hold up? Everybody flying in the dove. I think the dove's going to tank it. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, man. People have a lot of faith in the U.S., even if it's not warranted at time. I'm very surprised about how some of these pages don't load. Anti-fee, I understand. BBC, no. All right, let's see what this is right now, what they're showing. Let's see where the Thai baht has gone since I last looked. I've been looking for a while. Ooh, man, I've had like, how many shots? I don't want to say too many, but I've had a few. All right, let's see if this thing loads. Fucking thing. Kidding me? 7? Holy Jesus. All right. I challenge you bastards to down 7 tequilas in 2 hours. Go for it. Have fun with it. Yeah, well, let's just close that one up. In the West, it's just 74%, 58.5. Yeah, it's 14 karat, but hey, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I just was looking around today and I saw this where what's her name? Angelina Jolie, who I never liked. Never thought she was, some royal piece of ass or anything like that. She has, I don't know why, she's banned Jennifer Aniston from seeing any of her and Brad Pitt's kids. Now, I don't know if they had a kid together or what the deal was, but I'm sorry. No more Angelo Jolie for me. I can't stand her. I can't stand her. Jennifer Aniston, I prefer her. I don't always like her movies or anything, but I prefer her. I don't know if she's back with him or not. I mean, who knows? They could be banging. I mean, if I was him, you could do it. Oh, Jeff. You hit the magic button. Last night I saw Knives Out and I thought, oh my God, she looks like a teenage girl. She's how old now? I don't know. She's got to be like maybe 30. She looked great. I really like her. And I liked her because I saw her first in Hands of Stone, which was kind of a crappy movie, but she was good. And ever since then, I followed her, and I like her. I likes her. Of course, not as much as my wife, but, Believe me, she don't give a shit. When I learned Bill Gates vacations in Thailand. Pretty soon 70 will look good. Yeah, well, you know how I know I'm getting older? Okay, it's 32.6814 right now. Holy sheep shit. That's up about 0.15 from a couple hours ago. So we're closing in on 33. Personally, I'd like to hit, 35 by Monday. Got a little transfer coming in on Monday or Tuesday. I'd like that bot to be way up. Let's see here. That Anna Kournikova was smoking. Oh man, she was gorgeous. She was a good-looking girl. There's a thing, man. You know, you have a thing for Betty White. Well, you can have her. She's a lovely young old woman. She's got a great sense of humor, but sorry, you can have her. I'll let you have at it, pal. Take a crack at it. All right, what is this? What site? This is Sky. You see, all the pictures are not loading on Sky. Oh, man. Mm, who was? Anna de Armas? She's been in a lot of movies. Man. I like her. She's married or something, I think. I don't know. Oh, she's Cuban. That's what she is. Oh, I thought she was. I forgot. Be honest. Oh, she was married. She's cute. She's, yeah. She's got it going on. Yeah, she was married and divorced in 2013. She's 31. Listen, Betty White is cool. I like her. But, you know, like, as far as, like, getting into bed with, I mean, are you kidding me? I don't care. How old is she now? She's got to be like 90. Even if I was 90, I wouldn't be with her. Holy shit. She was born in 1922. You can have at her. She's, son of a bitch, she's 98 years old. She's the woman who will not die. She hasn't been married since 1981. She's probably got some young guy come to her pad to service her every once in a while. Oh, man. That's hilarious. You know, listen, I haven't ever seen her where I was like, oh wow, she's a hottie. No, I've never seen her like that, and I watch old movies. Yeah, but when was Golden Girls on? Like 1985? I mean, that's 35 years ago, man. You know, I mean, the gray hedge or the gray wedge? It ended in 1992. Oh, man. You know, the thing is, we're all going to get there. And when you're young, you think, a bunch of old. Listen, I read something about me online like years ago, and it said something like, he's a relic of the past. And I'm like, fuck you guys. Now I'm like, yes, so? I made it this long. When you make it this long, then you guys can talk. Otherwise, fuck off. It's about living as long as you can, having as fun of a life, being as happy as you can for as long as you can, not giving a shit about what other people think about you. But I'll tell you what, I think good things about Ana de Armas. Ana Celia de Armas Cas in Spanish. She's 31. I don't even look in the mirror anymore, man. You know, I used to like to look in the mirror. There was a time when I would look in the mirror and I'd go, damn, I'd be like, they can't resist me. Now I'm like, they look at me and they go, ooh, look at that old big gray beard. No, thank you. How about, I can't stand Cameron Diaz. Maybe if she was younger. But now she just Cameron Diaz bugs. I like Auntie Fee, but not for the same like her. Might like her. All right, maybe I'll have one more for the road. I don't know. I think about it. Fortunately, I'm not driving. Fuck me, man. Even Sky isn't loading. The photos on Sky aren't loading, but I bet you on the phone they'd be loading. Jesus Christ, the fucking page isn't loading. We're just now. Here's the thing. Oh, thank you to whoever. Let me see here. Who was that? Who dat? Walter, what's happening, man? How you doing? Hopefully you're all good. Listen, I can't get over the whole, Grandma Clinton. I just can't. She does absolutely nothing for me. And know, if you ever see her in those like what are they, spandex or polyester or whatever, those pants she wears when she goes on to like debates, she's like 58 inches wide, and up top she's like 22. You know, you know what I mean? Kind of like pear shaped. I don't like that. That bugs me. All right, let me see. There was something I was looking for here. If you had to pick one famous person to live with? Oh shit. God, I don't know, man. That's a tough question. That is a tough question. Famous person? They have to be famous. Now, what I don't want is some like fucking famous chick or like what was her name? Bridget Fonda. I used to like her, and then I found out she was like a coke. She was like totally into coke or something. I don't know if it's true or not. I heard she was a coke whore, and I was like, no, not Bridget Fonda. Then it was no, she's just into coke. But I liked her, but no, as far as like, oh man, on a desert island. Of course, my first pick is my wife. Um, but I don't know about that. I'd have to think about that because you want a combination of things. This you're talking about like that's marriage stuff. I mean, like you're like saying you got to be married to him because you got to be able to stick with him for a while. Ooh. Martha Stewart is not with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's married, been married forever, man. He didn't dump her, did he? He did not dump her for Martha Stewart. Please tell me that ain't true. Calvin Cordozar Brodus Jr. I'll be honest, I only like that one album that he made, the first album he made. Okay, he's married to Shantae Taylor. He married her in 1997, divorced her in 2004, probably banged his brains out with all kinds of broads, had his fill, remarried his wife in 2008, and he's been married to her ever since then. Brandy Norwood is his relative. Isn't she a star? Oh, yeah, that's the Brandy. Nate Dogg is his cousin. Ray J. Isn't that the guy who nailed, didn't he get, what's her name? Kim Kardashian? Kate Winslet? No, 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 no. 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 Can't do it, man. Not gonna do it. No, not gonna do it. Man, I might polish that whole bottle off, man. Jesus Christ. Like the guy, you can call me Ray, or you can call me piano. What is this? I'm reading all this shit, taking it in. It doesn't say nothing about him banging. What was the guy's name that was nailing Kim Kardashian? Well, he's married to Princess Love. Never. Yeah, it was Ray J. It was Ray J. All right, so I don't know because I don't watch that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was. Yeah, like her, Gennaro. What's happening, man? I don't know. I haven't really seen a good picture of Rihanna. I just know that she was the one who got the shit beat out of her. Like, what was the chicken Blood Diamond? I liked her in Blood Diamond. She was all right, man. Jennifer Connelly, is that her name? Jennifer Connelly. Whoo, I got a good memory. And that was 14 years ago. But listen, I got to tell you, I think it was Mr. Wuhan himself, Mr. Billy. Jesus, call this live. Margot Robbie was, yeah, she's all right, man. Christina Aguilera. Now, she can sing. I'll tell you what. And I forgot what I was going to say before. Fucking bastards got me off sub track. What the hell's her name? Jewel. Now, I think she's a little too earthy for me. If you know what I mean. Or sorry, Mitch. Kind of like too much Oregon girl, too much hippie-ish. She's very thoughtful in what she does. And I like her voice. I'd end up killing her. Seriously. I'd end up killing her. How old is Billy Bob Thornton? I just started watching. How long have I been streaming? Jesus Christ, it's been hours now. He's 45 plus 20, 60. Wouldn't surprise me. Anyway, I don't give a shit who you guys like, to be completely honest, because all that matters is who I like. I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, I used to like, what was that girl's name? In Adventures of Babysitters? This is a long time ago. We're going 35 years ago, 25 years ago. Elizabeth Shue, she's 37 plus 20, 57. Holy moly. Well, she was in Adventure. I liked her. I did like her, I'll admit it. I don't know how we got on this subject. Got more serious things to think about, gentlemen. No, I wouldn't. No. No. Not gonna do it. Dude, why would you even ask me that? Are you kidding me? I mean, I'm a hoe, but I ain't that much of a hoe. I'm definitely not a trained SEAL, although doing something like that is far beyond being a trained SEAL. $200 million. I might lie and say I would, and then take the 200 mil. Fuck, I'm so disappointed in Bruce Jenner, man. Really, I am. Because when I was a little boy, I saw him on the Wheaties. Now what's he become? He's fucking wearing high heels and lipstick and shit. Maybe I'm conservative like that, but I tend to think that, if you're born with a pecker, that means you're a man. If you're born with a vagina, that means you're a woman. And I don't think, even if you believe in religion or not, I don't think that you should be changing those kind of things around. It's kind of like mathematics. 2 plus 2 is always going to be 2 plus 2. If you got a wee wee or a woohoo or whatever, you can tuck them and you can formulate a new one, but you're still going to be what you were born with. Fucking internet, man. I can't believe it. It's 11 o'clock at night. I don't know how long I've been streaming, but for a long time. Let's see here. 11 o'clock at night. Let's see if this will work. Yeah, I've been streaming almost 3 hours. Well, I mean, Bruce, that's like you sent me that photo earlier today. That was like, I knew right away, man. I took a look and I was like, no. Oh, no. My logic and my approach towards figuring out gender, mine is, if you have the least bit of doubt, just say no. Now, I don't know when the last time I told this story was, but when I first came to Thailand, I don't know, it might have even been one of my journeys as a tourist. But, bitch. Ooh, really? Damn. That's about one every 20 minutes. That's way too many. I can tell you it's too many. When I first came to Thailand, I went out to Nana Disco, rather. And it was called Nana Disco then. It wasn't called, nobody called Angels. I think the place is closed down now. But, it was the go-to place for many people. And I went in there, lady. And I said, oh, what's happening? And she's kind of cute, I'm just sitting there having a good time, having a drink, Ah, you want a drink? Yeah, all right. Okay, I'll get you a drink. I get her a drink. The woman that I am, I give her a drink. I say, of course I would like to have a drink. I said, okay, here you are. I placed the order. I Chongale. I give her the cheers, I give her a little drink. And, she's very thrilled and everything. And then I thought to myself, man, smells good. Smelling good. So I move over a little bit. She moves over a little bit. And I'm like, put my hand on her leg. And I'm like, damn, she got some firm legs, man. I'm like, whew. She's strong. I'm like, well, that's, if you're a man, that's your lady's got some strong legs. That's nice, at least she'll be fit for the, somewhat fit. All right, I understand you. I was like, what? I was like, what the fuck? I get up, I go take a piss, and some girl, it used to be a place that I frequented. What are you gonna do me? This is a long time ago. I was a much younger man. I had hair then. Don't make me laugh. Mom's gonna have to get over this one. Sorry, Mom. Anyway, where was I? So, I'm sitting there and I just go, something ain't right. Or I get up and I go and I'm like, something ain't right. But I'm like, whatever. Doesn't matter. Looks good. And this girl comes up to me and she goes, the one that I had kind of seen around, she knew who I was. She says, you do know that that is not a lady. And I went, what? And I was like, shit. So I go back in. I go back into the club, and I go, you're not a lady? And no. I go, I'm sorry, but no. And I split. And that was the closest I got. And ever since then, I thought to myself, there was something that didn't feel right. And if it doesn't feel right, have that little bit of doubt. Just like a chick, she has her, women's intuition. You got to trust your gut as a man. And considering that this channel is about 99.9% men, because for some reason people think that, I'm a misogynist or something like that, which I'm not. Not at all. In fact, I still believe in opening the doors for young women, or women. I believe in all that shit. I just believe that, if you want equality, that was my little story. That was my little run-in. And ever since then, I made it a point to learn to live here. One of the first things you do is you learn the signs, which is, the elbows, the Adam's apple, the way they walk, blah, blah, blah. And then it's a piece of cake. Really, it's not that difficult once you kind of just get used to seeing them around. And I'll tell you what, man, even in the mall Bankaby over there are girls behind the counters, and I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. Right away. Oh, man. But, like some of the women who are buying the makeup, they think, oh, here's this one, and it looks like a lady. So if they must know what they're talking about. They're everywhere. It's the way it is. But, no harm, no foul. As long as they don't touch me and, bug me, I don't care. What does it matter? It's their business. I don't even want to know about it. Too much information. Oh, yeah, I think that's the last. Empty that bastard out. Trick or treat. Smell my feet. It's like one shot left, if that. Fuck it. And that's the end. I polished it off. It's not even a shot. It's like a half a shot. Might as well just finish it. That way I won't be tempted again, because this is really tasty. It's very good. Who are you, dude? I don't know who you are. Don't tell me to take a shot. Hey, why don't you take a shot, buddy? That'd be a little bit better. But when you tell me what to do, I don't do good with that. I don't do well with that. I don't know why. Never like taking orders. Oh, yeah, there we go. Chun Gale. See that? That's all that's left. All right, enough. Enough. 2 shots is way too many. All right. Well, I watched some kung fu the other day, and I thought to myself, I didn't feel the same way about the Chinese government until, um, what's his name? Chang Kwai. What the hell's his name? Huang Chai Kane or something like that. What the hell's his name? God damn it. Kwai Chang Kane. Yeah. Um, you know, I'm irritated by this whole Wu flu and all that other bullshit. I'm irritated by it. And what I'm not so irritated that I'm like cooped up or that my family's suffering for it. It's just the fact that why the fuck would they come out with a virus? What kind of human beings are they? Where they come out with a virus that they knew about and they waited and they lied about getting the news out. And during that time, people were getting ill and spreading the illness and dying. I don't want to think about the Chinese that way and the Chinese government that way. But then I see, what happened with the whole story behind what's his name, Kwai Chang Kane, is that he killed some politician's kid or something like that. What the hell is it? I forgot already. I know I'm getting shit faced. God damn it. I typed in Kung Fu Chain. Kung Fu David Carradine. Kwai Chang Kane. All right, let's look in Wikipedia because Wikipedia tells you everything. Now, if you know anything, thank you very much, Norwegian Polar Bear. I don't know how much money that is in dollars, but thank you. I appreciate it. Whatever it is, yeehaw. Very happy. David Carradine, I do know this about David Carradine, is that he died here in Bangkok. Oh my God. He died. Now, if any of you have ever followed some of my photography, you know that one of my best-selling photos was actually something I would have never expected to sell well. It was of the penis garden, which I don't even, something Top Tim, I don't remember the name of it, but he was at that hotel. It was a very nice hotel. And he died by asphyxiation by hanging. And I have a friend that lives right down the street from him, from where that happened, rather. And we never talk about that. He doesn't give a shit about it, but anyway, that's a little tidbit of activity. He was active for 46 years. He was an actor. Holy moly. So that's David Carradine. Unbelievable. Family or royalty, man. Robert Carradine, or whatever, however you want to say it, Carradine. Martha Plimpton was his niece. Wow. John Carradine, Robert Carradine. Wow. I used to watch all of them when I was a kid. Anyway. He's still got a website, David-Carradine. Probably doesn't say a word about his death, but I remember when that happened. When was that? What year was it? 2009, 11 years ago. So 11 years ago, he died from asphyxiation. He was married, what, one, two, three, four, 5 times. Oh, and he was with Barbara Hershey? Wow. Is she still around? Holy moly. It says career more than 50 years. She's old now, too. What is this? You know what? Now I understand the value of youth. Problem is, the brain is not as developed. When you're young, you're an idiot. You know, most people are idiots. That's why if you get a kid who's like 16, 17 years old and he's smart, he's a rarity. 52, so she's 72 years old. Holy shit, she looks good too. Um, yeah. Wow. I didn't know she was around in the 60s. Holy moly. What was that movie? Wasn't she in Mr. Goodbar or something like that? Or some Boxcar Bertha? Take this job and shove it. I like that. I like the title. Little Rascals in 1994. What's she done? She hasn't done shit lately. Has she been on TV? I don't know. Anyway, she used to be a looker. I'm just rambling now. That's the truth. 33.91. Are you shitting me? Wow. We're doing all right, man. I gotta close some of these windows. I got Elizabeth Shue, Blood Diamond, Anti-Fee. Here's the thing. Government considering emergency decree as new 89 cases reported. Let's see here. Worldometer. Can we get to that page now? Jesus Christ, even my Amazon page won't load. All right, well, this one loaded good. So there's going to be a lockdown. And armed forces may be mobilized to impose travel restrictions in the capital city. The decree empowers authorities to ban travels and close down buildings without warrants. The Bangkok City Hall on Saturday also ordered shopping malls to close for 2 weeks, except food courts, supermarkets, and pharmacies inside. Restaurants are also instructed to drop dining services, though takeaway and delivery operations will be allowed. Wow. Where are we at here? I'm trying to look at I had XE up earlier. You know, the thing about tequila is it wears off fast. You drink it and then you're like, 5 minutes later, you're like, this is like rice. It's like me eating rice. I eat rice and I'm hungry in like 2 minutes, you know? I can't even get the XE page to load. Let's see, is it gonna load or not? Nah, it's not loading, man. Internet is bad right now. At least mine is not very good, and I'm using True, and I don't have any. I haven't had a chance to refill my internet and get 4G service, but I'm gonna have to get that in the next day or two. I may do a stream like at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. Who's worried? Who the hell's worried? At this point in my life, man, the only thing I'm worried about is my family. I ain't worried about me. These fucking pages aren't loading. Oh, there we go. All right, let's see. Finally, they're very, very slow. If they load, they're very, very slow. I mean, I'm looking at Amazon. It's been sitting there for about 14 minutes, and it's not loading. Oh, Jesus. Be sitting here twiddling my thumbs. Anyway, there's plenty of tequila. Everybody, come on over. You can have a couple shots if you want. Hey, it's the least I can do. Just make sure you're wearing a mask. I'll make you some mama noodles too. When I was a little kid, I never would have thought that I liked to cook, but I actually do kind of like to cook a little bit. It's just that when you fuck something up, like when you're cooking an omelet and you make it a little bit too big and you try to flip it over and it breaks, I don't particularly like that. Is the Huawei building this? I don't know. Hey man, Huawei is China. That's all I'm gonna say. That should tell you everything. Yeah, there's gonna be lots of divorces too. 32.68 is what I'm showing. 32.6814. So we're not at 33.91. Where the fuck did you see that, man? There's no way, dude. 33.91. I'm looking at xe.com. 32.68. If you're that high up, that's quite a bit. I'm looking at XE right now. I don't know. Let me see. Let me do a quick Google search myself. Oh, son of a bitch. I typed in Google before $1. 32.60. That's what I'm showing. I'm not seeing anywhere in the 33s yet. 32.60 is it's got 6814 on XE. On Google search, it's got 32.60. So I don't know what's what. This is the thing, you get 10 different versions of the same story. But anyway, who knows what it is right now, but it's rising against the dollar is getting stronger against the bot. Bot is weakening, but who knows what's going to happen once, if this thing is completely over. I wish it would be. Like, I'm pretty much like a freestyle kind of guy, to be honest. In case you don't know, I like to do what I want when I want, and I don't like being, locked down. Or who does? Who does? Yeah, this thing has just started, and I read today that in the United States it's not going to peak for another 45 days. 45 freaking days, can you believe that? Man, that's more than 6 weeks. That's a long time where you're just sitting around going, man, people are dying. And for all the people who are bashing Trump and it's Trump's fault, get the fuck out of here, man. Really, seriously, I'm so sick of hearing it. I can't even watch the news because of you cunts. And that's what you are, a bunch of cunts. I don't give a shit what his name is, where he comes from, what he's doing. He is the president right now. And I don't think, I think that there could be some other things he could have done, or I think he's probably doing what he can with what he's got at the moment, and Yeah, 45 days is a hell of a lot of tequila. Holy shit, man. Maybe if he had a couple shots before he made his decisions, he would, Well, he's not the best communicator, and once he starts getting pressed, he starts telling people that they're a fucking shit reporter. You're a terrible reporter. Oh, God. Do you think that the American people are scared? I think it's the fault of China. It's China's fault. And I think that you're a terrible reporter. Fucking hilarious. I wish I could do a good impression of him. I'd have to sit there and really practice it. Every economy would crash. I'm stuck in the Philippines. Good thing I'm retired. Yeah, well, I wouldn't want to be stuck in the Philippines. Fuck that. That was a nasty question. Yeah, I remember. I watched it about 3 times, 4 times. Fuck it. Yeah, nasty question. I mean, of course people are scared. What the fuck? Are you stupid? You gotta ask a rhetorical question? Is there a sky up above us? Fucking idiot. I'm from Yahoo. I'm badass. Don't fuck with me, Trump. Yeah, it's like he banned China straight away. Fuck off, China. You're not coming in. He don't give a shit about Xi. You think he gives a shit about him? I can tell you right now that there ain't a chance in hell that YouTube is going to monetize this stream. That's why I like podcasts. The only thing is it's a little more difficult to be able to interact with people because I do like the interaction. I feel like I should be a comedian, except I'm not funny, you know? I wish I was, and I probably would be then. Oh, fuck all of you. You want to eat a little fucking bat fried rice? Some bat fried rice, over some pig shit, that kind of thing. Let's have all that. But China has all the medication. Yeah, this is the thing, man. Fuck China. Start fucking cranking out that medication that people need. Start figuring it out. You got fucking huge, huge pharmaceutical companies in the United States. I don't want to hear no bullshit. Get it together. And then, I'm hoping that China falls apart. They just fall apart. But I don't see that happening. I see something happening in the way of pressure from the outside world that will eventually take them down, but who knows? Maybe not in my lifetime. But you know what? I'm never going back to China, so fuck you, Xi. You fucking Winnie the Pooh motherfucker. There is a positive because of it. No, I believe there are some positives. I do. And I'm a little trashed right now, but I've been thinking about this for a long time. I do believe there are some positives to this, and I think they'll start coming out shortly. Now I gotta say, and I don't remember if anybody knows this or anybody's been watching that long, but it had to have been. Well, it was right around the time I got my hip surgery. I was in an artsy place. I don't remember the name of it. Some kind of artsy fartsy place where where it was in Chiang Mai, okay, and this artsy place. I don't remember the name of it, but they had all these pictures that were coming out of the wall, and then what they did was they provided a 3D experience, and it just gave you a different look. I mean, I don't even remember this stuff. I mean, there were like sharks and oceans and all kinds of shit, tigers, and you would see these things and you go, "Oh wow!" And I remember like standing there, and there wasn't that many people in the place, And I'd go up to a place, I'd get ready to take a photo. I'm sitting there, and I'm like trying to stabilize it. And all of a sudden, I see some fucking Chinese walk right in front of me, like 2 feet in front of me. I'm like, oh, you cocksucker. You don't see me standing here? I'm like, I knew I wasn't going to make, like really any money from the shots. I just want to take the shots. But still, I was like, fuck you, rude motherfucker. Like that was in my head. I'm thinking to myself, oh, you fucking cocksucker. I'd like to smack the dog shit out of you just because you're so stupid that you're gonna walk right in front of me. And then I thought to myself, I gotta be semi nice. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe she doesn't know. No, it wasn't in Pattaya. It was in Chiang Mai. And of course, I could swear that I bitched and pissed and moaned about these fucking Chinese tourists for a couple of seconds in the video. And then I was like, what the fuck you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You gonna go over and beat the shit out of the guy? Hey, you got in the way of my picture. And, I'm not making any money off the photos. Chances are, like, next to nil, I won't make a dime. What are you gonna do? You're gonna be like, hey, you stupid, which is what I did. I was like, hey, you dummy. Why the fuck you walking in front of me? You fucking cunt. That's pretty much what I said. Yeah, I mean, it's like, unless you're completely out there where you don't have a clue. Most people know, if you hold your camera up. Now, if I had been shooting down at the waist or something like that, and I had been, like, looking at the, pop out window or whatever the fuck it is, the view, I can't think right now. I was doing something like that, or I had myself a little Rico GR, and I'm like, not even looking, I'm like, that's a little different. I could understand they kind of walk, I didn't know you were taking a picture. But when I hold it up to my face, and I'm like, let me shoot this, and I'm standing, there's nobody around. And it happened a couple of times, and I'm like going, motherfucker, in my head. And actually, I'm saying these things too. I'm like, these fucking people. Now, I would have said something if it was worth, if it was worth it. If I was like, on a project or something, or I was, on some kind of assignment and I was going to make some money, I would have been like, get the fuck out of my way. Well, the thing is that you got to remember that a lot of Thais have their, what the fuck am I trying to say? Their bloodline hails from China. Up until I don't know when it was, the 40s or 50s, a lot of Thailand was, the transportation system was through canals. And a lot of it was with Chinese. They were dealing with Chinese vendors and, doing a lot of trade. And then they would go back. I don't know how the fuck they were going back. I don't know if they were going by boat or if they were taking trains or, but whatever. But anyway, the history goes back a long ways. And that's, there's obviously a lot of Thai Chinese in Thailand. So I think they're very hesitant to, and you can understand it. Listen, not all Chinese are bad. There's some wonderful Chinese people. When I was in the Olympics, man, I mean, I had a crew of 4 or 5 girls around me that they helped me do things and get around, and I mean, they helped me with everything. And when I left, they were like, oh, you're our favorite photographer. Oh, here you go. We have a little surprise for you. We have a gift for you. They were sweethearts. But now it's kind of like I'm traveling there as a tourist. I'm not there living there every day where I'm saying, hey, why the fuck is it like this here? Why is it like that? So they didn't have the opportunity to go, well, if you don't like it, get the fuck out of here, By the second trip, I was feeling a little different. And I've said this quite a few times. when I see a kid with a diaper that's got a cutout in the front and in the back, and he's pissing and shitting all over an airport floor, and then the woman has the gall and the arrogance to get pissed off about cleaning it up. Like, hey, fuck you, I'm not cleaning this up. Why do I have to clean it up? And the guy's like, because it's filthy. You're a filthy pig. And she's pissed off. Now, maybe it's not her fault. Maybe nobody ever taught her right. But the bottom line is, her kid is still shitting and pissing all over the place, and everybody's got to walk around it. It wasn't very nice. And then when the guy, I've told the story a million times now. When I was driving that, I wish I had this video footage. There's a little video I put up of the what the hell's it? Yeah, I know about Ansel Adams, that video. I do know about that. I've watched just about every damn video on photography that you could bring up. Eggleston, I brought him up the other day. William Klein, McCullen, even what's the one? Diane Arbus. All these, I've watched just about every damn one of them. That's what I like. I like documentaries because they're real. What the hell was the other one? I can't remember right now. Doesn't matter. But anyway, when I was driving, I wish I had this video. God damn it! I thought maybe let me look and see something here. If I can find it, there was a video I put up of the Chinese tops, where I took a little video with it, and this is a long time ago. This is well before I was YouTubing. How do you do this here? And yeah, it was about Chinese tops. These guys were playing with Chinese tops. Whipping the top in Hui Li. Let me take a look. It was only 30-second video, 32 seconds. So it's not that. Anyway, this was the area where I was, this Hui Li. And when we went down the mountain, and it was a very mountainous area, and I'm sorry if you've heard this already, but I went there with one of the trainers and then the boxer. And we went for this event, and actually, if you ever saw Tommy Morrison, if you know anything about boxing, Tommy Morrison fought a guy named Joe Hip many, many years ago. Let me see here when that was. It had to be in the 90s. 92? 94? Let's see. 92. Okay. All right. He fought Joe Hip, and Joe Hip and him went at it. And while Morrison got the better of him sometimes, Joe Hip was a tough dude. He's from Seattle, Native American guy, and he battered Tommy Morrison, almost beat him. Yeah, from Yakima in Seattle. Tough dude. And I get to China, and who do I see but Joe Hip? And I had seen him fight Tommy Morrison. I was like, Joe Hip! I was like, oh. He was the guy named Chauncey Welliver. And I don't remember if Chauncey won that fight. I think he did. And anyway, I take my guy there. My guy's running the track, and Joe Hip is walking around. And I'm like feeling so good because, like, wow, Joe Hip is like, he's cool, man. He's all right, And he had bad knees. His knees were really bad, and he had a hard time, getting around. He's a big dude. Big, strong dude. And that was my time in China. My guy went and ran to make sure that he made weight. And I went there. And then when we're coming home, we're going down the mountain. I always tell the story. And this guy's like, he's beeping the horn the whole way. I wish I could find that video. Because, man, this dude was beeping the horn. Like, as fast as he could hit the horn, he's beeping the horn. It never ended. We're going down this mountain, and we're laughing, but we were scared shitless. All three of us. We were scared we were going to die because we thought we were going to go over the side of the mountain. And we pull over to the side of the road. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? What's this guy stopping for? He goes, oh, the toilet. I'm I'm like, okay. Goes into the cinder block. I still remember it, off the side of the road, cinder block, right up against the mountain. He goes over and he goes into the bathroom, and I thought, oh, I gotta take a piss. I thought I'll go into the toilet. I go into the toilet and I see this guy and he's squatting down. I see there's no stalls. And I look over and I see him and he goes, oh, please come inside. And it's okay, come inside. And I'm like, ah. I see a turd hanging out of his ass. And I'm like, that's enough. I'm gonna have to take a piss. So I go over and take a piss behind the building, and I get back in the car and we go back down on our way. And I kind of lost a little something from China about that. I was like, it's one thing if they spit. Everybody in their life has probably hawked a loogie, and you spit once in a while. But like, I didn't have any bad problems with the Chinese, and but then once I did, and then things changed a little bit. But I still didn't dislike them. I just thought, hey, this is the way they are. Once I went to Hong Kong, that changed, and now it's forever changed. Although when I was in the fight, and when I went to the fight, and we went down the mountain, and after the mountain, we went into the airport, and in the airport, that's when the lady had her kid and who pissed and shit all over the place. And then one of my Hong Kong buddies, who I saw in Hong Kong when I went to Hong Kong during my trips, I think I saw him in the second and third trip. Um, he actually stood up and told the security guard and said, "Hey, this lady's letting her kid shit all over the place, and look at this, it's disgusting." You know. So anyway, that was my story. What is this? Went to Miners for a birth. Oh, you guys, listen. I used to live in Seattle. I just don't remember where the fuck it was. I think it was Bellevue. But I went to Seattle, and yeah, that was a long time ago. I had come from Thailand, and I was like, where am I going to go? And I looked around for the best place to go so that I'd be guaranteed I'd find work and I'd have a relatively inexpensive place to live, in case I didn't make it back to Thailand. And I came up with Seattle because transportation was good, and I got a job, but I was actually living at the what is it, the Green Tortoise or the Green Turtle Hostel down on Pike Street. And I was there for 3 days. I found a place to live, found a job, went to work as a paper cutter. I got 26-inch by 40-inch papers, 20 by 30s, all kinds of different, large sheets of paper, and I would cut them. I was the cutter all fucking day. I would cut paper. Not the most exciting job, but I was at the time. This is 25 years ago, 24 years ago. I made like $15 an hour, which was pretty good money back then. And I worked for a couple of weeks, and then they go, if you want to move to Oregon, you can move to Oregon, and we'll hire you. Otherwise, that's the end of the gig. And I went, fuck that, I ain't moving to Oregon. And about 2 days later, I got an interview for a job working on a boat in Alaska. And I said, okay, I'll take it. And they said, well, you've got to come in. I went in and I was like, I want the job. And they were like, well, wait a minute. And then the next day they called me and said, you got to come in for a physical. And they tested me and I passed. And then the day after that, they said, can you leave tomorrow? And I said, yes. And then the next day I was on a helicopter bound for, where the fuck was it? Dutch Harbor or somewhere. Or no, first it was Anchorage. And then I went from Anchorage to Dutch Harbor. So, anyway, that's, I know I'm rambling, but it's been how many hours? It's been a long fucking time. Almost 3 hours. So, it's been fun. Oh, man, it was years. I actually rented a room from this couple. and I had like a rollout foam pad. That was my bed. God, because I didn't want to have too much stuff because it was such a pain in the ass, and I didn't have much stuff. And then once I got on the boat, it was like, all right, well, I socked away some money. Then I went back to Thailand. Then I socked away some. And then I was like, oh shit, it's not enough. I better come back. I came back, socked away some more money. Then I came back to Thailand. Been here ever since. Anyway, God, I missed that time of boxing. Yeah, what is this? Broken jaw, two broken hands. Son of a bitch. I used to go to the Starbucks that was on Pike Street, and I didn't know, like, oh wow, Starbucks, wow. It wasn't like that back then. Yeah, injuries, broken jaw, two broken hands, cut eye. Back out. Oh yeah, Joe Hip lost to Burt Cooper. Man, anybody know boxing? They know smoking Burt Cooper. Fucking great little fighter. Let me see here. Oh yeah, so yeah, Tommy Morrison's jaw was broken. Holy shit, man! I remember these. These were the good old days, man. Burt Cooper against Evander Holyfield. Well, that's not really how I came here. That's just how I came back here. When I came here, I was working at a print shop, and then the print shop went out of business, and I took over the customer list, and then I started brokering printing, and I talked to a guy who was traveling back and forth to Indonesia, who was like, "Oh, you got to go to Indonesia." But because I had met this Indonesian chick when I lived in Riverside, which was a ways away from Palm Desert, where I was living then, uh, and I didn't like her. I found her irritating. This Indonesian chick, I was like, I can't. She just irritates me. And so I was like, fuck, I can't go to Indonesia, man. And then, I had trained in Muay Thai, and I was like, maybe I'll go to Thailand or whatever. And then I ended up, and, I talked to one of the guys who I knew, who was Thai, and he's like, yeah, you should go. And so, you know, that was that. Oh, so Morrison broke two of his hands, too. Shit. Anyway, what is it? We're at 3 hours right now. We still got 38 people. That's not fantastic. Considering, we've had 75, 80 in the last couple streams, but, you know, it's still not that bad. I'm not that, to be completely honest, I'm almost completely sobered up now. God, that was a great fight. The thing is that these fights are like music. I think he did. I think he was in denial. Fights are like music to me. You remember. Oh, hey, remember when this fight happened? Ali Chavallo, or I remember Ali Cleveland Williams. I just remember as a little boy thinking about that fight and then hearing about it the next day. I never got to watch him. I did see the Frazier fight, and then I was like, oh, yeah, this is what's going on. That was my era, man. And then I started learning about all the fights from before, from the 1920s. I love Dempsey and Mickey Greb or Mickey Walker and Harry Greb and all these guys. Stanley Ketchel. Most people, fuck, they don't even know who they are now. And in another 20 years, if I'm still alive, fuck, there'd be like, it's very difficult to find somebody to talk to. And the one guy that I talked to was a Filipino guy who's a promoter, and I sat down with him and had a nice dinner and talked to him about all the old fighters, and he knew all of them. And I was like, wow. And so he loved me, I loved him because we could communicate about all the fighters. Um, yeah, they're not gonna put on any fights here, man. It's not gonna happen. Oh, this shit! This is Ring Magazine, man. I used to write for Ring Magazine. I'm a bit disappointed with Ring Magazine, and I have not read an issue of it in many years. Ooh, shit. Injuries. Two broken hands, broken nose, fractured cheekbone, mouth lacerations, and bruising from repeated low blows. Um, but I used to write for Ring Magazine. I saw it, yeah. I did see it. And then Oscar de la Hoya bought it out, which is a blatant conflict of interest. And so the editor at the time was a guy named Nigel Collins, and he was like, "I can't do this shit." It's like you got a boxer who's a promoter who owns a magazine. That's a conflict of interest, and so he stopped writing and running the magazine. And then I was like, a bunch of other people. I think the Olympics are going to be delayed. I think the Japanese are just waiting as long as possible so that they can at least say, well, we tried. But I don't think it's going to happen. Yes, I did see it. I don't miss many fights. I mean, I'm not as into it as I used to be, and I don't want to be. Because if you really know what goes on, it takes a really thick skin to get past some of the things that go on. And I got out at the right time. That's all I'm going to say. I got out at the right time. I liked the fighters that we had, and I didn't want to see any of them get hurt. I didn't want to see any of them die, and I've seen that happen before. And like I said, I got out at the right time. Still, what's that guy's name? Sergey Kovalov. Sergey Kovalev finds a way to fight amidst a corona outbreak. What's going on with him right now? I haven't seen him in years, man. Let's see if I can find this. They don't have a damn thing in here about it. They have something about his felony assault charge, but they don't have anything about the guy that died when he fought him. Roman Simikov. That's the one that I went to. That was back in 2011. August 20. Wait, where is it? December 5th, 2011. And that was around one. That was one of the last fights that I uh, worked with fighters at. 2011. Wow. But Roman Simikov is no longer alive. He died in that fight. Yeah, I'm dead. I'm dying. I'm dead. Yeah, I'm gonna die, okay? Is that alright with you? With you? Is that alright with you? You'll get over it. Considering I don't think you know me, I'm sure you'll get over my death. Um, I don't think that, what's his name? Wilder. I don't, I liked Wilder. Um, and I think if he had learned a little bit more about the science of boxing a couple of years ago, he may have been able to beat Fury, but he hasn't. And you can only go to the bank one too many. You can only go to the bank once, and then if you withdraw everything, once you withdraw everything, you got nothing left. So what's he got left now? He's got a big punch, big deal. You outbox him. That's why it's the sweet science. You use your boxing skills to beat somebody. Man, I can't even get on a box rec now. What the fuck, man? That's not what I wanted to look though. Let me see. Simikov. Yeah. He fucking died. Yeah, December. He died 3 days after that fight. Fuck, man. Even now, that kind of makes me a little bit sad. I think about it. Fuck. Yeah, rest in peace, Roman Simikov. Well, that's the thing. Fuck me. He's a Russian boxer who passed away a couple days after a Monday, December 5th. No, it wasn't on Monday. December 5th, it was after hard hitting brawler Sergey Kovalov. Sometimes we don't understand what boxers put on the line in our entertainment. It makes me look back at some fights like Gotti Ward 1. Rest in peace, you're a warrior and will be missed. So his Facebook page is down, but this is the guy who before the fight he he and I had a little conversation for a couple of minutes, and then when I went back to my room, I heard that he had died, or he had brain injury. He had a brain injury, and he was in the hospital. And then by the time I got back to Thailand, he was dead. So I don't know. It's a sport and everything, and I understand the whole. Hey, it feels great when you start your guy, and it's an art and everything. But that's he's the second guy I saw die from the fighting in the ring. There is no Songkran. Fury's an amazing boxer, and a good puncher will always beat a good boxer will always beat a puncher. Yeah, he's good, but he can be beaten. He also can be beaten. It's just a matter of the right guy at the right time, the right skills. You know, it's like he's got the right pieces for the puzzle, and that's what happens. The trick is to do the best you can, rise as high as you can, make a fair amount of money, and then get out before you get damaged. I don't know, man. I don't know about Joshua. If I were to pick, I would say Fury, but you know. it would depend on the odds. I think Fury's going to win, but like if you lean a little bit towards Joshua and you give him, you know, plus 200 or something like that, I'd like to know what the odds are. All right, this is in the other kind of. They've got the odds here, but they're in, you know, points, and I don't remember how to do that. Let me see here. Odds shortening statistics odds. God damn it. Fury 1.40. Oh, that's a lot better than that though. So it's minus. He's like minus 350. So you got to bet or plus 350. You got to bet. Actually, you got to bet 100 to win 275, and the other one is. Let me see here. How does this work? God damn it. This is Patty Power. Same fucking thing. All right, I think the stream's just about long enough. Let me see if we can get these odds real quick. I'd like to see. Can't even get to the odds, man. The fangulo, man. Gypsy King favored. Yeah, well, you see, I knew that would happen. And what's the odds? They got all the odds in points, and I don't know how to figure it out. I got to think about it. It's been a long time since I looked at odds, but I think you bet minus 700 on Fury, and it's plus. Nah, it can't be that much. Anyway, what do we got here? They don't, they don't tell me the odds. And minus 225 for Fury, plus 162. It's not high enough to bet on Joshua for me. I would bet on Fury at minus 225, and that's not a good. That's not real good. Anyway, hang on a second. Whew. All right, better. Bookmakers rarely get it wrong. Yeah, I don't know who would beat him. I don't know who all the heavyweights are. I mean, you know, heavyweights can win at any time. I mean, anything can happen in boxing. I don't know. Joshua. I mean, I don't know if Ruiz could beat him. I don't think so. Um, I've kind of stopped watching for a long time, and I used to know every single Thai fighter. I would know them personally. I would have at some point I would have talked to them. I would have hung out with them. I would have been to their gym. I would have done so. Now, I don't even think about that, man. I wouldn't even want to do it now. First of all, I know how the sport is, and second of all, I don't know. I've changed. I've changed in the last 10 years. I just don't want to see it. So anyway, all right. You know, well, it's good to see that Gennaro showed up. I don't know where he went, but this is a difficult time for everybody. I know, and man, I got a headache now. I've had a headache all day. Wu flu? No, I don't think so. But yeah, what are you gonna do? I don't know what's happened to John if he's still here. I don't think I'm ever gonna go back to Hong Kong now. I don't know what the purpose would be. I mean, okay, ever. That's a bit strong, but maybe I'd go just to see how things have changed. But after this, as much as I want to go and do something and get some photos out there and everything, I'd rather hang out with my family and I'll let the younger people take care of that stuff. I went there 4 times and I got out of there unscathed. And I think that's a good thing because there were a couple of times where I could have ended up in bad shape and I didn't. And, you know, I'm almost 60. I don't need to be running around with this shit. Now, depends on what's going on, but I don't like to say never, but I doubt it. I made fuck all when I went there. I mean, I covered my trips, which is a good thing, and I made a little bit of money. Got to pay the bills, cover my trips. Okay, but I can do that from here. I can do that doing other things, and I do care about the people that I met there. I do care about what happens, and I can't stand the fucking CCP. But the other thing is that you got to remember that Hong Kong is, the CCP has their arms in Hong Kong. So if ever they wanted to do anything to somebody there, they could easily do that. Now I'm not saying that I'm important enough to do that. I doubt that would ever happen. But the more you put yourself out there, it's like a gunfighter. The more you go out in the street and you challenge somebody, the better chance you have that one day somebody's going to be faster than you. And I look at it like I've made it a long time doing some crazy shit. And if you could start all over, what education and profession would you choose? I can't even answer that, man. Um, that's a tough question. I mean, I like what I've done now. You know, believe me, I've lived a lot more than most people. you know, but the only thing that I could say is maybe I would get some kind of degree in sociology or, psychology or something like that would apply to photography or something like that. Anthropology, something like that. I don't know. Because I did like sociology. I took it in university, and I did like it a lot. But I don't know. I never thought to take to get a degree in it. And yeah, I mean, like what good does it do to me to think about that? It doesn't do a damn thing. It doesn't do a damn bit of good for me to think about it. You know, the only thing that I think is okay. Well, back then was different than now. First of all, when I was in high school and when I was a kid, I got all kinds of cameras, or a few cameras, Kodak Brownie, and learned on film. It was a different time then. If I had started then and said, this is what I want to do, I want to be a photographer, I want to get involved in it, who knows where I'd be now. But I dare say I would probably be in a better position as far as being known for photography, because I would have had more time in it and it probably would be better. But like the one guy, like Justin says, better not to worry about it. I don't worry about it. I try not to worry about shit, like that, because I can't change it back. And that's one thing that I've said. I said it to boxers, and I've said it to my kids. I've said it to a number of people. Like in boxing, you better make every single second count, because one day you're gonna hit a point where you're not getting any better. You're on the decline, and you're never gonna get back to where you were before. And with my kids, I'm like, hey, listen, enjoy your youth. And if you get like involved with some chick, you get seriously involved with a girl, you better really think about it, because if she's something that you don't really want, she's someone you don't want, you're gonna piss your time away. Now, I'm not saying don't take some chances, but don't if you feel like in your heart and you don't feel it's right, move on, because you don't want to. The one thing that you don't want to do is piss your time away. You want to learn from any mistakes. You want to learn from your situation and move on. Just keep going. So I think they know that, and thankfully they're not like I was, which was like, what? She's not madly in love with me? What's the deal? What's her problem? They're not like that at all, man. They're like, I don't care about him. I don't give a shit about him. She don't like me, oh well, later, And I like that. I'm very happy about that, because, listen, women ain't important, man. All these guys, and I got like 5 guys who wrote me, dude, I gotta get over to Thailand and I want to see my girl. My wife's still over there, and then fuck. It's ridiculous. She'll be there if she really cares about you. She'll be there. If not, oh well. And you know what? Next. Move the fuck on. If I would have known all that when I was 20 years old, if I had some old guy telling me about that, my father and I really never talked about women, or not much at least. But if, some old guy had come to me when I was like 25, and I remember one guy did try, but, hey, when you're in the middle of it, sometimes you got to learn on your own, it doesn't always sink in. For me, I was a bit thick-skulled, Yeah, woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's the way it goes, Anyway. All right, well, I think I'm done. I think this stream has run its course. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream tomorrow, but I will put up a podcast later in the late in the evening. I think 8 o'clock at night it's supposed to go up. So it's time to get out of here. Time for me to actually, I was gonna say time for me to fly, but really it's time for me to like drop into bed. Time for me to say goodbye. Mom, I'm sorry. I know I drank a little bit too much, but you know what? I'm not drinking and driving, and that's a good thing, and everything's cool. Anyway, if you find this, what am I supposed to say here? What's the deal? Which one was this? I'm looking at the wrong sheet here. No. Yeah. And thank you, China, for putting us in Chinese Communist Party, CCP, for putting us in this freaking position, for scaring people, and for not giving shit, and then gloating about it, you bastards. And let's not forget about their transgressions against the Tibetans, Taiwanese, Uyghurs, and of course my friends in Hong Kong. Let's not forget about that. Um, Chinese and CCP, it's not the same, but I can tell you that the CCP, I don't give a fuck if they ever like me. If anybody from their government likes me, hates me, I wouldn't give two shits. As far as the Hong Kongers go, that's a different story. I do care because they were always good to me. The people in Hong Kong were fantastic, but the people who were representing the Chinese government, they were not. So fuck them. Uh, Might as well tell the truth. Anyway, that's all I got. If you've yet to subscribe, please do so. Click the bell to make sure you get notified of when I'll be streaming next or when a video will go up. Click like, leave a comment. You know the drill. Yada, yada, yada. If you found this stream or channel valuable and or entertaining, get yourself an American in Bangkok t-shirt, mug, pick up one of my books, or use the PayPal, or Patreon, Super Chat, whatever. You can always go to the description down below and find all the details. Wow, I'm trying to get to the. I can't even get the fight news, man. A lot of pages not loading at all. I'm trying to get to the worldmeters.info. Let me see here. If I can get to another site. All right. I don't see anything about Italy on this. So let's see. I can't get to the BBC. What about CNN, which I despise? Yeah, Bolton's saying hold China responsible for the coronavirus, but I wouldn't count on that happening. I don't know. I'll take your word for it. A lot of people are dying, way too many people. But it still is a relatively small percentage. But I would say stay safe. Don't put yourself out there. And if you have to go out, wash your hands, wear your mask, do everything. Don't get too close to anybody. And if you're not around anybody, the chances are you're not going to get it. So anyway, that's all I got. Thank you very much, everybody who contributed in whatever way, whether it be in the chat or super chat, financially, whatever. Appreciate it. And that's all I got. So until next time, see ya.